3 years ago, an attack was taking place on an island. The warship was ready to provide support, but the captain knew that even with support, it would be useless. All hope rested solely on the hunters. The hunters were ready to enter their battle. The group was fighting against the ant monsters. Everyone tried their best to attack and destroy the ants, but it had no effect on them. One by one, their attacks backfired. Eventually, only one person was left. He realized that the rank of the whole group was not enough to win. Suddenly, someone appeared to provide backup. Then, he even used healing magic. In the blink of an eye, everyone's wounds were healed. The ants continued their attack. Another person arrived to assist. Then an S-rank hunter appeared. The ants were easily blown away. Everyone was relieved to be helped. A giant white ant leader appeared. Byung-gyu was still assigned to take care of the wounded. Baek and Yunsok continued to fight. Both of them teamed up with twin swords to fight the ant leader. Baek used one of its own antennae and threw it straight through its body. But they had guessed wrong, it wasn't the ant leader. Yunsok and Baek continued to unleash their power against the next wave of white ants. On the other side, Jong-in's group was also ready. He attacked first with his fire magic. The small ants were instantly killed, but it had no effect on the white ants. Then the whole team charged in together. Time rewound back to 10 years ago. A path connecting to another dimension suddenly appeared. Later on, it was called the Gate. Inside it were bizarre monsters. The military's weapons were useless against them. Only those who awakened combat abilities could defeat them. And they were called hunters. They were ranked from S, A, B, C, D, and E, based entirely on the magical power within their bodies. However, once awakened, no matter how much they tried, they could never grow stronger. Then returning to the present. 3 years later, now human life began to depend on the gates. Because successful raids brought back a lot of money. Our main character is named Sung Jinwoo. He still wore his usual gym outfit style. Everyone here warmly welcomed him. But in return, Jinwoo had the nickname, the weakest hunter of mankind. He was so weak that even in an E-rank gate, he would get injured badly enough to be hospitalized. So his presence meant today's raid would be on the lowest rank. Juhee was very worried seeing he was still hurt. The two of them chatted for a while afterward. Then it was time to head inside. Song Kai-Yul would be the leader of this raid today. There would be a total of 13 participants. And so it began. Let's go. Currently, Jinwoo only had a dagger with a bit of magic power. But he still had to try his best. Come on. The Hunter Association chairman had just finished a meeting with the government. He mentioned how they kept going on about the same thing, not wanting dungeons to become too common. But in return, they demanded a stable supply of resources from the dungeons. His demands weren't wrong either. Because hunters made a living by selling dungeon resources. The crystals that dropped after killing monsters were magic stones. And they were all worth money. On this side, Jinwoo had just defeated a monster. But before he could celebrate, another one attacked him. He could only try to dodge. He wanted to fight back, but his dagger had already broken. Then he took a direct hit from the monster. His teammates arrived to assist. Juhee was assigned to heal him. She immediately started healing him with all her effort. Watching his teammates giving the monsters a brutal beating, he thought, why am I so weak compared to them? Magic stones dropped from high. Ranked monsters could be turned into powerful weapons and armor. Mana ores were also used in a similar way. However, the government wanted to use them as a new energy source, because their effectiveness was safer than any energy source currently used by humans. They could be called the ideal clean energy. That's why hunters were playing such an important role. Jinwoo's group had just defeated the dungeon boss. The whole team was happy about their successful victory. Juhee saw Jinwoo as really stubborn for sticking with the hunter profession. Because at this rate, he would continue getting more seriously injured. He didn't need to apologize since Juhee was just worried about him. The team had just finished collecting their loot. Jinwoo was a bit disappointed since he only got one E-ranked magic stone. He had risked his life but got nothing valuable. Suddenly, someone discovered a hidden passage. The team wondered if this was a double-layered dungeon. Everyone thought there might still be prey to hunt inside. The team members were eager to get more loot for themselves. Captain Song wants the whole team to vote on whether to proceed or not. Currently, There are 6 votes in favor and 6 against. And Jinwoo will be the one to decide. He reconsiders and realizes that a D rank dungeon is indeed too dangerous for him. With his father gone, he's now the main breadwinner of the family. Because of his sister's tuition fees and his mother's hospital bills, he decides to go. The assessment process is currently ongoing. That guy is Jinho, who just finished his assessment. Guilds are actively recruiting members now. Out on the street, a girl is suddenly mugged by 2 thieves. Suddenly, another girl appears in the middle of the road. She easily jumps up and snatches the handbag back from the thief. The 2 thieves fall flat on their faces afterward. The girl who got her bag back is very happy and thanks her savior. And the savior turns out to be Cha Haein, an S rank hunter. She is discovered and immediately becomes the center of attention. Then she continues to hop and jump, and then she completely disappears. Meanwhile, the group inside has been walking for more than 4 minutes. Juhee is still angry because Jinwoo keeps putting himself in danger. Just a little higher stab earlier and he would have died 8 times over. He also realizes that without a B rank healer like Juhee, who knows what would have happened to him. She thinks he's learned his lesson. So, next time he just has to treat her to a meal. Or is he planning not to eat out with her at all? The group reaches a room. Then they decide to proceed further inside. Chairman Go is spreading the hunter's ideology to newly awakened people. As Jinwoo's group steps inside, the torches in the room suddenly light up. Surrounding them are giant statues. No one knows what they are doing here. Jinwoo notices one seated statue that is much larger than the others. The group doesn't understand what this room is about. Then someone discovers an ancient inscription. They read it and learn that this place is called the Kartenin Temple. Along with that are a set of accompanying rules. Juhee sees that the statue's eyes are watching everyone. As soon as they finish reading all the rules, the door suddenly shuts. The members who were against entering begin to panic, since they didn't want to come in the first place. One person walks toward the door and is immediately killed by the statue near it. Everyone is shocked by the gruesome scene. The statue then returns to its original position. Jinwoo can't understand why there are such monsters in a D rank dungeon. Then he notices the eyes of the giant statue start to move. Jinwoo starts to recall all the painful memories from before. He can't believe he's always lived under the word failure. Always enduring, living a life of being looked down upon. From that, he learned how to observe and seize the right moment. So he immediately tells the whole group to lie down. A blast attack shoots down from the statue's eyes. As a result, another person dies instantly. Jinwoo still doesn't understand what is going on. They're trapped, there's no escape, and they're being hunted. The whole group continues to panic, not knowing what to do. The captain thinks they shouldn't move, because moving means getting attacked. Juhee is radiating fear. The captain continues to praise Jinwoo. Without Jinwoo's warning, the whole team would have been wiped out for sure. But when they look again, the captain's arm is gone. So Jinwoo helps stop the bleeding for him. And what the captain has been hiding all along is that this entire room is S rank. Rule number 1 on the inscription says to revere the god. Number 2 is to praise the god. Number 3 is to have faith in the god. Those who do not follow the rules will not survive. Jinwoo wonders, could the god in this place be that statue? Meanwhile, in class, Gina is talking to her friend. Even though she knows her brother is a hunter, he's only E rank. He's always coming home covered in injuries. Her friend thinks if it were her, she'd definitely do better. Captain Song wants to stay calm and find a way to retreat. But one of the members lets the blood rush to his head. He thinks, I finally got into a big guild. How could I just sit and take this? The guy is super confident in his speed. He dashes toward the door at the speed of a wave motorbike. And just like that, blink. And it's already 20. Wait, Oni, my bad. The guy's gone. Only 2 legs remain. Yep, it's turning into a Squid Game in here. Folks, Jinwoo goes back to read rule number 1. He now guesses this dungeon must have its own set of laws. If he's right, then they must all keep their heads down and kneel before the statue. Just as rule number 1 of the ancient text said, Jinwoo starts to kneel and bow. Everyone else gives it a try too. Suddenly, the statue gives a strangely sweet smile. One person in the group tries standing up. He's overjoyed, thinking it won't attack anymore. The whole group is relieved. thinking they've escaped death. But the statue suddenly begins to stand up again. The captain has no idea what Jinwoo's plan is from here. Rule number 2 is to praise the god. That's the key. One person in the group thinks he's got it handled. Because he's studied folklore. He says he's learned hymns to honor the divine. He starts to give it a try. Again, the statue gives that same fake, sweet smile. Jinwoo realizes, those weren't the praises this god wanted. The guy gets stomped flat like a shrimp. Then a girl meets the same fate. Everyone starts to panic and run. Another person is taken out as another statue attacks. Jinwoo starts thinking about what praising the god really means. He also doesn't want to leave Juhi behind. He decides to use his head and find a solution. Yet another person is taken down, never to return. Jinwoo starts to observe the tools that the other statues are holding. Then he tells everyone to run toward the statues holding musical instruments. So they all give it a try. Sure enough, when they approach, the statues start to move. When Jinwoo gets there, he notices 2 statues aren't moving. As soon as he steps away, they begin to move. Jinwoo runs with everything he's got. He barely dodges a stomping attack in time. But he steps into the wrong spot, near another statue. He is attacked instantly. Luckily, Jinwoo survives. He continues to crawl and push forward with all his might. He's determined to reach the destination no matter what. At last, his efforts pay off just in time. The god statue returns to its seated position. This is the answer to rule number 2. Juhi arrives and is shocked to see Jinwoo's right leg is gone. She does everything she can to heal him. She's determined to reattach it no matter what. But pushing too hard can lead to collapse. Everyone starts to panic again, blaming themselves for the choice they made. Captain Song takes full responsibility. But there's still one rule left. Suddenly, a ritual altar rises in the middle of the room. Jinwoo realizes it's for offering treasures or making sacrifices to the god. And rule number 3 is to believe in the god. One team member wants the captain to be the one to take responsibility. The captain accepts and steps into the altar. Jinwoo believes the captain isn't at fault for all this. As soon as he steps in, a flame lights up. The captain asks Jinwoo if there's anything else that needs to be done. So Jinwoo decides to go inspect the altar himself. 2 people help him get in, and then 3 flames light up. The group keeps thinking it through. Because now, an entire week has passed. A gate will fully open after 7 days. This is known as a dungeon break. Monsters will escape from the gate. So the boss must be defeated before that happens. If they fail, that thing will escape into the outside world. Gina visits her mother like she always does. She talks to her, even though she doesn't get a response. Jinwoo calls 2 more people into the altar. 6 flames are now lit. Then all the outer blue flames ignite as well. And suddenly, the door opens. This time, all the statues begin advancing at once. Jinwoo still doesn't want anyone to take their eyes off them, because it might be just like the previous rule. But then, one girl in the group can't take it anymore. She immediately bolts straight for the exit. Everyone notices that even though the door is closing, she survives. Jinwoo believes this is definitely another trap. Another person also gives in and flees in panic. Jinwoo doesn't want anyone else to run. He explains that the blue flames are a countdown timer. Once they're all out, everyone will be saved, so they must keep watching the statues. Uncle Kim sees this as a matter of luck. Besides, he has a family. He feels he's already reached his limit, so he apologizes and leaves as well. Now only 3 people remain at the altar. Suddenly, the captain wants Jinwoo and Juhi to leave. He believes as long as one person stays, the door won't close completely. The captain thinks the 2 still have a future ahead of them. Juhi's legs can no longer support her. Jinwoo thinks the captain should carry Juhi and escape, because there's no more time left. He gives her the only magic stone he has. Tells her to use it to buy a really good meal. The captain knocks Juhi unconscious. He then carries her out. Jinwoo prepares himself to face death. He picks up a sword, determined to take at least one of them down with him. But he always knew he was the weakest one. One of his arms is already severed. Jinwoo is continuously tortured by the statues. The truth is, he really wants to become stronger. But even so, he will continue to live his life in his own way. He remembers the words of thanks from that Kim guy. The truth is, he too wants to return to his family. He realizes how hypocritical he has been. Jinwoo lies weakly on the altar stone. He wishes he had one more chance, maybe things would be different. Suddenly, the hidden mission, Courage of the Weak, is completed. Jinwoo is asked, "Have you become worthy of being a player? Choose yes or no to continue." Of course, he selects yes. Jinwoo suddenly wakes up in a hospital bed. He doesn't understand why he's in the hospital. His leg seems fine, it's not missing. Could this be a dream? People from the association arrive. One introduces himself as Woo Jin-chul, the head of the association's supervision department. Jinwoo doesn't understand why they're here. Then he finds out that he had been in a coma for 3 days. Uncle Song and Juhee are safe. But Uncle Song lost an arm and will likely have to retire. Juhee is suffering from severe psychological shock. She's being treated, and it's uncertain if she'll continue being a hunter. Only 6 people survived after discovering the 2-tiered dungeon. Jin-chul wants to know the full story. After learning the details, he and the White Tiger Guild immediately went to the scene. But there, they only found Jinwoo unconscious. Lying there were no signs of the temple or any statues. Jin-chul is confused. Even the testimonies and parts of the bodies of those who sacrificed themselves couldn't be found. Jin-chul wonders if Jinwoo awakened after the incident. The value of a hunter's ability is resolved once they awaken. And of course, it will never change for the rest of their life. In special cases, one might be able to awaken, overcome themselves and rise to rank A or S. Jin-chul also brought the magical power measurement equipment, wanting to test Jinwoo immediately. He still couldn't believe that Jinwoo survived facing 8S ranked monsters. The measurement results were in. Jin-chul realized he had done something very crude to him. He never expected someone of E rank to have a power level under 70. Jinwoo felt incredibly embarrassed, thinking he was great. But now, Jinwoo also received a message. He realized that this program screen seemed to be something only he could see. He thought it was a touchscreen. But it wasn't. Suddenly, his younger sister arrived. She immediately scolded him for not caring about himself. She decided that if this happens again, she'll quit school. He asked her if she could see the program in front of him. She realized that indeed, she couldn't see it. He also asked how to open and read a letter in the game. Gina said that all he needed to do was open the inbox to read it. The message welcomed Jinwoo as a player, with a daily task to train his strength. She saw that Jinwoo was fine, so she left. Sung Jin had been waiting outside. Jinwoo had read the system's rules. He confirmed the daily tasks first, such as push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and running. If he didn't complete them, there would be penalties. But Jinwoo wondered where he would find the strength to do those tasks while hospitalized. Jin-chul reported to the chairman that Sung Jinwoo might have awakened. He seemed to think this situation still held too many mysteries. He also requested an investigation to treat it as a special case. As for the Hunters Guild, it is one of the 5 major guilds in the country. Guild leader Jong In wanted Haein to guide the new hunters on the B-rank gate raid, for the common benefit of the guild's continued growth, while also awaiting the moment that it would arrive. Suddenly, a gate appeared in the middle of a road. The hunters were not able to arrive in time. Jinwoo's training mission failed because he did not carry it out. Suddenly, an earthquake occurred. Jinwoo woke up to find himself in a desert. A giant centipede monster appeared. His mission was to survive for 4 hours. At the hospital, the nurses discovered that Jinwoo had disappeared. Meanwhile, Jinwoo was running for his life. Terrified by the centipedes, 2 hours remained. Outside, 2 nurses were still desperately searching for him. As the last few seconds passed, he thought he might be done for. But miraculously, the time ran out. His survival mission was completed. Jinwoo collapsed from exhaustion and fainted. The 2 nurses discovered him. The next day, he had recovered completely. Juhee was called to join the raid, but she flat out refused. She also heard that Jinwoo had woken up. She was overjoyed and immediately went to the hospital. When she arrived, she overheard the nurses talking, then looked down to see Jinwoo doing a jogging workout. Today marked the 4th day since he woke up. The strength training mission was completed. Everything in front of him was clearly real. After completing the mission, he would receive 3 rewards. The first reward was a boost to his mental clarity, as if he had just drunk a 24/7 energy drink. The second reward was an increase in his physical strength stats. The young man sat alone in deep thought, making everyone think that he was seriously ill. The final reward was a random box. Today, he opened it to find a key. It was a key that unlocked a dungeon sub-instance. News of gate appearances continued to spread widely. It had now become part of the daily news. Jinwoo went to visit his mother. About 4 years ago, his mother suddenly collapsed. She was diagnosed with a condition known as Nidra syndrome, also referred to as the final sleep. This disease had a 1 in several tens of thousands chance of occurring. Modern medicine could only try to maintain life for those suffering from the disease. Since then, Jinwoo had worked hard to earn money, and eventually became a hunter. He was very happy that he had made enough money to pay for his mother's hospital bills. But in return, this job wasn't suited to him at all. So, he decided to head to Hapcheong Station. He made up his mind to open a sub-instance dungeon and raid it. First, he unlocked the dungeon. Once inside, the entrance suddenly locked behind him. He saw that others like him weren't visible. He thought about running in case things went wrong. But to his surprise, there was no way out. He was forced to defeat the boss in order to escape. He had no idea what awaited him ahead. Jinwoo decided to press forward alone. As soon as the battle began, goblins appeared. He immediately remembered the time he was stabbed before. He kept dodging their attacks, struggling to defend against the 3 goblins. After a while, one of the goblins cut off the backpack he was carrying. He decided it was time to counterattack. He pierced one of them through and sent it on its way. There were still 2 more, but Jinwoo quickly handled them both in an instant. It was clear that he had grown stronger. Just as he finished, a wolf appeared. The wolf lunged at him, destroying his sword. He could feel that the wolf was much stronger than the goblins he had fought earlier. Looking down at his legs, he realized he couldn't move. Was he still haunted by that fake smile? The wolf charged again, attacking him. It slashed his face, and it kept attacking relentlessly. His body, however, had grown quicker in a mysterious way. He felt incredibly light on his feet. He had barely managed to keep his life, so he swore not to act cowardly anymore. He balled his fists and punched the wolf squarely in the face. It was clear that his increased physical strength was showing results. However, Jinwoo's attacks seemed to have no effect on the wolf. Not knowing what else to do, he decided to flee. He realized that at this rate, he'd be finished. He thought he needed a weapon with enough magical power to fight back. With a clear mind, he opened his weapon storage. He immediately drew a sword. Then, he used it to split the wolf in half. Successfully defeating it, he leveled up. Just then, 2 more wolves appeared. The sword got stuck in the ground. Jinwoo struggled to pull it out before being attacked. Luckily, he managed to block one. The other wolf had already taken his sword into its mouth. Jinwoo attacked with his foot. Then, he continued to attack with his sword. There was still 1 wolf remaining. He thought that compared to the others, it was nothing. Suddenly, it ran away. Jinwoo was now at level 2. The wound he had earlier was healed because he leveled up. Right now, his total body strength was only 32 points. He thought to himself that he had indeed become stronger than before. He also tried to search for magic stones from the wolves' corpses. But instead of magic stones, he found items. He felt like he was being controlled by a system similar to a game. He planned to buy something from the shop but couldn't yet. Then, he tried selling the items and got money. The total was 20 gold. He didn't know how much that would convert to in real money. He thought he needed to keep grinding, because as long as he didn't defeat the boss, there was no escape. The food he brought wouldn't be enough for long-term survival. The wolf that ran away called for its pack. Jinwoo decided there was no reason to panic. He could handle this. So, he continued to fight the wolves. He single-handedly slaughtered the entire pack of wolves. He was determined not to die again, because the opportunity only came once in his life. He had to seize it. He fought to level up. Then, he continued to fight alone, taking on everything. As long as he was alive, he would give his all. Jinwoo's level kept increasing. After a while, he received the title of Wolf Slayer for taking down the entire pack. Jinwoo was also exhausted after this battle. The sword in his hand had reached its limit. That title brought him many things. He also had a teleportation stone in his hand. He thought maybe he should return. But then he reconsidered, thinking there wouldn't be another opportunity to advance so easily. He was torn between moving forward or retreating. He then put the teleportation stone aside and kept going. Ju-hee received a call from the association. The portal she had refused to participate in had caused an explosion in the dungeon. The association was gathering freelance hunters to find a way to handle it. The number of healers was still insufficient. Jinwoo's level kept rising, so killing monsters became easier. The names of the monsters also started changing color according to his level. He realized he was stronger than they were. Jinwoo continued preparing to go deeper. His intuition told him there was a monster waiting below. His current level was now 15. After a while, he made it to the bottom. The scene in front of him was completely different from a normal station. Then, something appeared and attacked him immediately. His sword broke, and it appeared, a green venomous Kasaka Swamp King snake. It seemed like it was the boss of this dungeon. Jinwoo continued to fight, but its skin was too thick. He had to keep running, dodging its attacks. Then, he took a full hit from the king snake's tail. The attack sent him flying hard. He was taking hits left and right. Then, he was about to take a full hit from the snake's attack. He thought he had gotten stronger, but he still wasn't much. Indeed, he was still a helpless young man, and his neighbor was just lucky. He didn't know how strong he needed to be to avoid being mocked. Jinwoo kept fighting against the king snake. It pinned him to the wall. He was still extremely frustrated being called the weakest weapon in the world. So this time, he was going to be stronger. And this was the truth he had been struggling to reach. He took another hit, but he still stood up. He kept trying to break through the king snake's thick hide. He knew it was nothing compared to the guy with the fake smile. Jinwoo climbed onto the king snake. Then, he kept holding on. Using his muscle strength, he put all his strength into it, determined to bring it down with his own hands. Eventually, he crushed its body. The king snake officially went to meet its end. Jinwoo continued to level up. He was very satisfied, even though he had only become a little stronger. Jinwoo also received a dagger. It was made from the Kasaka venomous fang. It had an effect that caused paralysis and bleeding. The dungeon ended after the boss was defeated. Jinwoo returned. He didn't know what time it was, but there was no one around anymore. The rain was pouring down. A soldier arrived and saw Jinwoo holding a sword and recognized him as a hunter. The soldier wanted Jinwoo to come with him to the scene immediately. He now realized that the dungeon had indeed exploded. There was still a giant monster that hadn't been dealt with yet. Jinwoo tried to sense it and realized it was a boss monster. The hunters were also attacking to kill it, but their attacks had little effect because of its high defense. Since it was an organized team, they weren't working well together. Jinwoo noticed there were 8 D rank hunters and 1 D rank hunter. For healing, there was 1 D rank and 1 B rank. Ju-hee was the B rank healer, and she was standing frozen. Because of her past trauma, she couldn't use her magic. Jinwoo was sure that the boss monster was only D rank, so he decided to be the one to kill it. He planned to unleash a powerful attack to break through its defense. Then, he threw his sword straight at it. Sure enough, its defense was broken. The hunters immediately launched a full-scale attack on it. Eventually, they defeated it. One of the hunters, who had taken the hit, realized that someone had helped. He also asked who had thrown the sword, but when he turned around, Jinwoo was already gone. Jinwoo didn't expect to get involved so quickly. Ju-hee also realized that it was him. The nurses at the hospital began to notice Jinwoo. When they saw his handsome face and muscular build, they immediately took notice. It was like something out of a dream. Jinwoo was definitely on another level now. Even Oni was mesmerized looking at him. Haha. The nurse found him shy and embarrassed. According to the schedule, he was supposed to be discharged today. Jinwoo thanked all the nurses for taking care of him during his time there. The nurse seized the opportunity immediately. "Can I have your phone number?" Jinwoo still didn't understand why she wanted it, but he accepted and gave it to her. An interview with the president of the White Tiger Guild was also taking place. He was the 7th S rank hunter in the country. The questions continued about the daily life of a hunter when not in the dungeon. Gina was getting ready to go to school. Today, she noticed that her brother had really changed. He really was taller now. She was also happy that her brother was focusing more on himself. She said goodbye to him and went to school. Jinwoo was thoughtful and prepared an umbrella for his sister. His daily physical training task was now just a 10 kilometers run. He thought that, with more muscle, he would look like one of those bodybuilders. His current level was 18. He continued to increase his stats. Suddenly, the landlord called him. The reason was nothing other than the rent. He subtly reminded Jinwoo that if the rent was late, he could move out next month. Jinwoo wasn't sure if he would awaken again. But with his current level, he thought he could easily earn enough money for rent. But as an E rank, he still had no way to enter higher level gates. He thought it might be a good idea to test himself again. That way, people would start to notice him. No hunter had ever leveled up on their own before. So, for now, he decided to focus on understanding the source of his strength. He had just completed his 10 kilometers run when, unexpectedly, he met a group of hunters. Everyone here recognized Jinwoo because he was famous. They knew him by the nickname, the weakest weapon in the world. Then, he was invited to join the group to make up the necessary number. The C rank dungeon required 8 people to participate. More than half of the members had to be C rank hunters. Jinwoo wouldn't receive any loot but would be given 2 million cash for helping to complete the group. His job was simply to carry the luggage. This team, however, didn't have anyone to heal. Jinwoo realized this was indeed a careless team. The contract between the two parties was signed. Jinho introduced himself to Jinwoo. He was 21 years old and AD rank hunter. Jinwoo looked at Jino's equipment and guessed he must be from a wealthy family. The young guy promised to protect Jinwoo. Then, everyone set off together. After a while, they reached the entrance of the gate. Everyone looked at it, unsure if it was a C rank dungeon. Jinwoo knew from the association's confirmation that the rank was determined by the amount of mana leaking out. So, they could be sure it was a C rank. If it were B rank, it would have been assigned to the larger guilds. The team started to head inside. As soon as they entered, they noticed something strange. There were no monsters or light. Jinwoo sensed it and remembered his experience in the temple. Then, they reached an area full of many caves. And everyone sensed danger approaching. Jinwoo sensed and guessed they were facing insect-type monsters. The sound of them came from all directions. The team started panicking because they didn't know where the monsters were coming from. Jinwoo guessed they were coming from above. Sure enough, a swarm of ants appeared. The team began to fight back. Dong-suk used his skill to provoke the ants. The other members quickly dealt with the ants. Then, they gathered energy and launched a wide area attack. Jinwoo realized they all worked well together, and they might be able to stay as a team for a long time. He still didn't understand why they were risking it without a healer. Jinho was trying to use his equipment to compensate for his abilities. Suddenly, an ant attacked Jinwoo. With just one kick, Jinwoo easily dealt with it. The last ant of the swarm was also defeated. It's time to gather the loot. Guys, Dong-suk asked why Jinwoo had known they were coming from above. Jinwoo explained that it was just his intuition. Dong-suk noted how sharp his instincts were and thanked him. The team noticed the ants' wounds were from each other's bites. The whole team wondered if something had attacked them. Jino's equipment was bought by his father before this raid. Jinwoo still hoped his younger brother would be more careful. At the White Tiger Guild, the members were working hard to train. Beck was, as usual, training with great enthusiasm. He easily smashed a large rock with his punch. Meanwhile, the team inside the dungeon was going deeper. They rested and ate, continuing happily on their way. Jinwoo wondered why a team with so much experience didn't have a healer. They continued, defeating another swarm of ants. But so far, they had only encountered injured and near-death ants. This time, they discovered a path filled with webs. The team went deeper inside. They found a huge amount of mana ore in front of them. Just estimating, it was probably worth billions. Dong-suk was very excited. With this, his attack team would grow stronger. And he wouldn't have to hide behind his younger brother anymore. Jinho wanted to see the contract that Jinwoo had signed. Jinho immediately had a question. He wondered why they weren't sharing the loot. But instead, mana ore was considered a discovered item. So currently, it would be divided by 8, not 7. With Jinwoo, Dong-suk also accepts this. But the first thing to do is to handle it quickly. Nothing else but the dungeon boss. The mining of ore needs to be done before the gate closes. So Dong-suk wants the team to mine first because the boss is still sleeping. Since they didn't bring many tools, Jinho and Jinwoo were assigned to stay here and keep watch. The rest of the group would go back to get the tools. Since both of them are doing this for the first time, Dong-suk wants them to trust him. Then, all 6 of them left. As soon as they stepped out, Dong-suk ordered his team to block the entrance to the boss's room. The entrance was blocked shortly after that. Jinho and Jinwoo, it seems, were betrayed. This is what Uncle Song had told Jinwoo before. Criminals often lure the weak in to get enough people for the job. Then, they will find a way to eliminate them, because there are no cameras or witnesses inside the dungeon. In short, this method is like a lizard cutting off its tail. Jinho takes the blame, thinking that it was because he mentioned the contract that this happened. But Jinwoo had realized this a long time ago. The dungeon boss had also woken up. The 2 of them were forced to face the C-rank boss, but Jinwoo still seemed insignificant compared to the fake god. He also wanted Jinho to do nothing because he would be the one to kill it. He was ready to fight with his weapon. Dong-suk's plan was to let the spider boss eat its fill first, then come back later to mine the mono ore. He also realized that there was a blocked path in the ceiling to get back in. Dong-suk had also noticed the equipment Jinho was wearing. He knew it could be worth several hundred million. He tried to find out which rich family Jinho came from. When the wall collapsed, they all guessed that the boss inside had woken up. Dong-suk is confident that those 2 weaklings are struggling with death inside. Jinho still doesn't believe that Jinwoo can defeat the boss. So, the best option is to find a way to retreat. Jinwoo thought about it and agreed. The 2 bosses he defeated before were only rank D. So this spider boss is truly incomparable to those others. But at this moment, he doesn't feel any fear towards it at all. Jinwoo decides to try it right away. The real hunt is only beginning now. Jinwoo begins by attacking its legs. But it has no effect. As expected, its skin is too tough. The force from its legs is also very strong. Jinwoo attacks while skillfully dodging its strikes. Jinho now realizes that his brother is not rank E. Could it be that he's the one who registered as a cheater? He's heard a lot about people with sick obsessions with killing. Now, the young man just calls for his father. Up until now, Jinwoo hasn't caused any damage. He starts to feel tired. At this rate, his speed will continue to drop. He thinks he should take advantage of the effects of paralysis and bleeding as the key to winning. Suddenly, the spider boss spits venom from its mouth. It's acid. Jinwoo decides to use his ultimate skill, the rapid dash. He dashes straight at it and slashes down at its face. But the result is still ineffective. Jinwoo decides that if one attack doesn't work, he will try multiple. Jinho watches, not understanding what his brother is doing. Jinwoo wants to go faster. Suddenly, he reaches his limit of exhaustion. He gets hit and is sent crashing to the ground. The spider boss intends to finish him off. Something unexpected happened right away. Jinwoo managed to dodge and immediately charged down. This time, he struck straight to its face. The effect of the sword was activated immediately after landing the blow. Jinwoo continuously pierced again and again, piercing a total of 7 times. 3 hits each, totaling 21 strikes, and it officially went down. His level increased again. Luckily, he was able to use his daily mission reward to recover his body at that time. Jinho now was sure that he was the one who registered for cheating. Jinwoo had just collected the items from the boss spider. Jinho then said, "Hey boss, keep the magic stone. I'll carry the luggage now. I'll also make you some water to help you feel better. Rest, boss. I'll mine the mono ore and give it to you." Dong-suk and the others also came back. They didn't expect that both of them were still alive. President Go was training Jin Chul in the gym. Jin Chul was very grateful for being trained by the president. Even though he was retired, he was still very sharp. He also praised Jin Chul for improving a lot, giving him advice on how to develop further. Dong-suk didn't expect the boss to be so easily defeated. Dong-suk was currently targeting Jinho. Knowing that he was the son of the president of Yujin Construction, he gave Jinho one opportunity: kill Jinwoo. He also revealed that killing the useless ones and monopolizing the rewards was the group's strategy. So, if he wanted to live, he had to follow this demand. He didn't expect that Jinho would be the one to defeat the boss with those items. If Jinho hadn't made that decision, he would have been eliminated along with Jinwoo. Then he walked up to his boss. After that, he firmly decided not to betray his boss. Dong-suk's group began attacking both of them at once. Unexpectedly, Jinwoo received an urgent mission. He was forced to kill all enemy players or face a severe penalty. The wizard attacked both of them first. Jinwoo, without any equipment, was immediately struck. The group thought he was done for. Jinwoo then realized, indeed, he had forgotten, because in this world, the big fish eats the small fish. A world full of violence, deception, and betrayal. He didn't expect the system to order him to kill people. Was his own death going to affect it somehow? He thought the system definitely needed him. It needed him to become stronger. It seemed like both sides were using each other. Forgetting that this was the place where the weak are robbed. Now it's time for you to pay for your actions. One of them stepped forward, confirming, "You're the one who should prepare to be hunted." What can a crippled E rank do? Before he could finish his sentence, Jinwoo gave him a blow to the neck. His head detached from his body immediately. There were 5 targets left. The group didn't expect Jinwoo to have hidden weapons. Jinwoo realized he had killed someone. But indeed, if he hadn't done so, he would have died. It was clear there was no turning back. Dong-suk's group started attacking. Jinwoo easily dodged their blows. Then, he sent one more to the grave. The third one rushed in and was also taken down. Both of them got hit, thinking they were safe, but the sword effect had already activated. Then, one by one, Jinwoo continued to raise the target count to 5. Jinho sensed that his boss was even stronger than when he fought the boss. Dong-suk didn't expect Jinwoo to hide his strength. He also started to unleash his power. Then he immediately charged toward Jinwoo to attack. Jinwoo used his speed and confirmed, "You're strong, kid, but let me tell you something. I've been leveling up non-stop, kid." Dong-suk now realized clearly that this guy wasn't E rank. The coward, fearing death, threw all his money and mana ores to trade for his life. But he couldn't convince Jinwoo and was about to say, "Do you know who my brother is?" And that's when his head detached from his body. The mission was officially completed. Jinho also shuddered and exclaimed. The dungeon was about to close. Then the report for the raid was ready. Out of the 8, only 2 people remained. Jinwoo had received the rewards for that mission. The association's people, seeing Jinho in VIP gear, thought he was the one who defeated the boss. And since Jinwoo was E rank, they assumed he was hiding somewhere. The investigation had come to an end. Jinho, his disciple, remarked, "Looks like my boss had a tough time today." Then, another downpour came. Jinwoo was glad that he forced his brother to carry an umbrella. The case of 6 deaths in the sea rank dungeon raid reached Jin Chul. Jin Chul thought it was normal. But then it was reported that the D rank hunter, Yu Jinho, had high-level equipment. The most important part was that the surviving person was E rank Sung Jinwoo. Upon hearing this, Jin Chul started thinking. What was especially notable was that one of the 6 deceased was Wang Dong-suk. He was the brother of hunter Wang Dong-soo. Jin Chul seemed to think this was worth worrying about. Jinwoo also returned home. He bought food for his younger sibling. He informed her that from now on, he could cover the hospital fees for their mother and the living expenses. The 2 siblings ate fried chicken and had a casual chat. His sister found it strange because during the raid, he wasn't injured. Jinwoo had to lie to his sister. Because what happened wasn't something good to share. He thought the important thing now was to become stronger for his family. As he drank a sip of barley smoothie, the system warned of a harmful substance. It immediately detoxified him. He then took the whole smoothie carton into his room and drank it. No matter how much he drank, he didn't get drunk because the system had broken down all the alcohol. It turned out that because of his reward, he had received blessings from the system. This was the reward he got from the 2-tier dungeon. Indeed, there were many things he still didn't know. Later that night, his sister informed him that he had a call from Jinho. He hadn't expected his brother to drink so much smoothie. The 2 met at a cafe to talk. Jinho thanked Jinwoo, saying he was his lifesaver. Jinwoo had given his magic stone to his brother, so he hoped it would remain a secret. Jinho saw it as a just act of self-defense. He also suggested that Jinwoo should form a team. As soon as he said that, it was immediately rejected. Jinwoo said he wasn't interested in playing with spoiled rich kids. Jinho insisted it was just one last time. He begged his older brother for a chance to explain. And eventually, Jinwoo agreed. Jinho said he wanted to get a certificate of guild leader. In exchange, a hunter needed at least 20 raid trips to qualify. So the raid from the other day counted as one. He also worked hard to study in order to inherit the company. So the written exam wouldn't be a problem. But when it comes to actual combat, it's too far out of reach for me. He mentioned that his father wanted to establish a guild. Jinwoo saw that the goal was for hunters affiliated with the company to conquer dungeons and make profits. In exchange, Jino's father wanted to appoint an S-rank hunter as the guild leader. His older brother would be the vice president. There were only 7 S-rank hunters left. Min Byung-gyu had already retired. Jinwoo figured his father probably wanted to pull in other factions. Such actions would only breed more enemies. Since Jinho hadn't awakened his powers, he wanted to gain experience to become guild leader. Jinho wanted to accumulate experience with his older brother. He showed his brother the project for the building where the guild would be established. The current estimate was 30 billion, and it would be the reward for the raid he had prepared for his brother. Jinwoo saw that 30 billion for 19 raids was probably an easy deal for most. He was always in a state of leveling up. If things continued like this, he would eventually reach S-rank. He figured 30 billion was just a small amount. But he didn't know how this leveling ability would affect him. So cooperating was indeed very risky. Jinho continued to plead. If they agreed to cooperate, he swore to keep that secret for life. Wang Dongsu also started investigating the death of his brother. He wanted the information about the 2 survivors. He then gathered details about Jinho and Jinwoo, and immediately asked his assistant to adjust the schedule, hoping that both would survive until they met him. The next day, the 2 brothers ran together. Jinwoo asked his sister what she would do if they had 30 billion. Gina immediately thought about her mother's hospital fees and her university tuition. Jinwoo continued running, hoping his sister would pace herself. Next, he continued to complete his daily training goals. Gina also managed to arrive. She barely caught her breath before her brother started running again. Today, he tried to surpass the mission criteria to see what the result would be. Suddenly, it turned into a hidden mission, and he received a random box. Inside, there was another key. This was the key to the demon castle, with an S-rank rarity. Seeing the reward, he was surprised, because it contained the holy water of life. So he immediately went to the hospital to give it to his mother. He wondered if this holy water could cure all kinds of diseases. Jinwoo arrived and tried to open the gate. He thought that with this rarity, it would be an S-rank dungeon, and surely the things inside would be as dangerous as Jeju Island. A place where many S-rank hunters had failed. He wasn't sure if he could get through it. He had also prepared a teleportation stone for himself. In case of danger, he would use it. As soon as he entered, he faced a massive monster. It was the hellhound Cerberus. Jinwoo was ready to fight. He charged straight at it, slashing at its leg. He moved quickly afterward, launching continuous attacks, but they barely had any effect. As if he was just scratching it. He was about to activate his killing aura skill when it was nullified. Jinwoo charged straight into one of its heads. But it was ineffective, no paralysis or bleeding. Cerberus kept attacking fiercely. It managed to bite Jinwoo. And with one bite, it tore off one of his arms. His blood immediately reached a critical warning level. He had only 1/3 of his health left. Cerberus continued its rampage. Its power increased by 100%. It landed another powerful strike to Jinwoo's face. His health dropped even further. Jinwoo immediately activated his healing state. Then he charged and stabbed at its eye. But it still had no effect. Cerberus didn't give Jinwoo a single moment to rest. It kept attacking relentlessly. As a result, Jinwoo lost even more health. Cerberus didn't stop. The buff that reduced Jinwoo's damage by 50% was activated. Jinwoo then used his foot to kick up a cloud of dust. He quickly hid and lay low. System warnings were constantly being reported. Sure enough, Cerberus was also afraid of Jinwoo dying. After all, he was still a player. He planned to use the teleportation stone to retreat. But Cerberus appeared again and attacked. The teleportation stone fell from his hand. Jinwoo continued to run, abandoning the stone. He was left with just over 500 health. He suddenly realized that the store had healing potions. One bottle cost 300 gold. So Jinwoo immediately bought 3 bottles. But each bottle only restored 100 health. He then opened the special poison item from Kasaka. Realizing his body was immune to poison, Jinwoo decided to use it and drink it. The poison was immediately detected by the system. But it was removed, and Jinwoo only suffered 20% physical damage. Before he knew it, he had to keep taking hits from Cerberus. Its rage time had finally ended. The effects started to take effect now. Jinwoo began to counterattack. He continuously slashed and stabbed into its body. Cerberus was determined to fight back with all its might. Jinwoo's health was down to 179. Cerberus had him in its mouth. Jinwoo still tried to stab into its remaining eye. The two struggled for a while longer. Jinwoo kept stabbing relentlessly. Eventually, Cerberus couldn't take it anymore and collapsed. Jinwoo was also severely injured. His level increased again after that. Fortunately, he was able to recover just in time. He received many items as rewards. He also got the recipe to create the holy water of life. 3 items inside the demon castle could be used to craft it. But he felt that he wasn't ready to enter there yet. So he promised that he would conquer it next time. Jinwoo returned to his mother. He still believed that the holy water of life could cure her illness. With his current abilities, stepping into that gate would certainly be suicide. He was determined to level up more. The more and the faster, the better. He then met with his disciple, Jinho, and agreed to cooperate. They would join the 19 dungeon raids in C rank together, but he had one condition. It was that only the 2 of them would be enough. Jinho said they would need at least 8 members to enter the C gate. Jinwoo suggested just finding people to fill in the numbers. Just like the way that Dongseok had done. Jinwoo thought this method wouldn't hurt anyone during the 19 dungeon raids. One team attacking continuously, safely, 19 times. This would surely be a good basis for Jinho's father to recognize his abilities. Jinho accepted his older brother's condition. He would take care of organizing the members for the C gate. Heian had just finished running when she discovered someone was looking for her. The person who came was the human resources manager, Yoon Bomgil. Jinho was with his father at the time. His father remarked that people's lives currently depended on dungeon resources. He knew that guilds collecting resources from dungeons were making huge profits. Currently, the top 5 guilds in the country were Hunter Guild, White Tiger, Death Star, Night Order. These guilds monopolized the profits in the industry. He didn't want this situation to continue. As he had always been someone pushing the nation's development, he felt it was his duty to take charge of these guilds. He believed that forming a guild for his company was absolutely necessary. Jinho thought about the risk of pulling an S-rank hunter and managing it with his older brother. It seemed too risky. Today, Jinwoo had completed his daily training tasks. He had also failed to meet the set criteria. Indeed, the hidden task from before was no longer available. He decided to open the reward box to see if there were any good items like previous times. When he opened it, it turned out to be a lottery ticket. Jinwoo's level was now 26. He really wanted to level up as quickly as possible. He then remembered the penalty area from earlier. He wondered if killing it would lead to a level up, but now that he was different, he thought it wouldn't have much effect. Jinwoo felt frustrated because he still couldn't find a way to fight. So he received a message from the association right away. Uncle Song has now returned to his life of teaching swordsmanship. Indeed, he now very much wants to live a peaceful life and contribute to society. Uncle also received a message from the association. Beck went to find Jong In. The issue is that Jong In's association keeps passing off trivial interview tasks onto him. The main agenda of today's meeting was something else. Jong In announced that Eugene Construction Company was pushing to establish an association. Beck was already aware of this matter. Juhee was struggling with mental instability. Her family hoped she would return home. If you're tired, come home. If you're successful, come home. If you're failing, come home, my child. But Juhee got angry because she wanted to make her own decisions. She made a resolution to try just a little bit more and see how things go. She had also received a message from the association. Beck and Jong In had finished their conversation. Heian also ran into Beck in the hallway. She came to talk about the person from Yujin Construction Company she met earlier for recruitment. Heian immediately rejected them. She also asked about the meeting with manager Beck. She didn't know what had happened between the two of them. Beck went to have a drink. Reflecting on the conversation he had with Zhang En, both of them had mentioned Jeju Island. After the third raid, no associations were allowed to visit the island anymore. Now, they could only conduct periodic surveillance from the sea. The public only remembers the memorial ceremony once a year. Everyone is trying to forget about that island. Even so, with the title of the world's strongest weapon, Zhang En still hasn't forgotten what happened on the island before. He was determined that in the future, he would conquer it once again. So he was very eager not to be separated from Beck at this moment. He also asked Beck in return, "Surely you can't forget what happened on the island back then indeed?" He was still haunted by it. He immediately thought of Yunsok and Byung-gyu. The next day, Jinwoo said goodbye to his younger sibling and set off. Unexpectedly, Uncle Song ran into Jinwoo. They hadn't seen each other for a long time. Now, Uncle couldn't even recognize him. Just a few months, and the change was so drastic. Uncle thought that perhaps high-ranking hunters had come to his rescue. So he had been saved and reinforced. The two continued talking. Uncle informed him that the association was calling someone of his D rank to come. Unexpectedly, old members also showed up here. Uncle Kim and Kong were very embarrassed because they had abandoned Jinwoo and fled back then. Juhee was very happy because Jinwoo had changed. He was truly different from when she visited him in the hospital. Suddenly, 3 young men in handcuffs appeared. Along with them was a young man. They were told that they were prisoners who would take their place and accompany everyone today. The association also apologized for this due to the lack of manpower at the moment. This time, Kong Taeshik from the monitoring department was joining them. He was B rank, so he could suppress these 3. The 3 had their handcuffs removed. Taeshik warned them, "If you misbehave, I'll serve you a bowl of porridge right away." Uncle Song still requested to lead this group. He continued bowing his head to apologize for what had happened. He represented the survivors and thanked Jinwoo once again. Jinwoo didn't want Uncle to have to bow his head anymore. Then, everyone was ready to set off. As soon as they entered, the whole team faced a group of goblins. The 3 prisoners easily dealt with them, as if they were eating porridge. In no time, the entire team had cleared all the goblins. Everyone could clearly feel that Jinwoo was very different from before. As they continued forward, the team encountered a fork in the road with 3 paths. Taeshik thought they should split into 3 groups to move forward. He would go with the criminals to the right path. Jinwoo, using his keen senses, could clearly sense the direction of the boss's room from where he stood. So, he wanted to go with Uncle Song down the left path. Kim and Fang decided to take the middle path. Jinwoo noticed that Taeshik had been keeping an eye on him the whole time. After a while, Uncle Kim decided that after this raid, he would bow his head and apologize to Jinwoo. He felt deeply guilty. Whether Jinwoo forgave him or not, Uncle Kim was determined to apologize. Taeshik's group easily dealt with more goblins. Taeshik asked the 3 prisoners, if these were humans, would it be so easy they treated them all the same? Taeshik had been instructed before entering the dungeon. The thing was, these 3 criminals had humiliated his daughter. Afterward, his daughter had hanged herself. His wife was so shocked that she ended up in the hospital. He never expected that after just a few years, these criminals would be free as if nothing had happened. Not to mention, they had even been given hunting licenses. He also knew that if they participated in the raid while serving their sentence, they would get a reduced sentence. He was furious because his daughter would never come back. He had collected 3 billion in cash and begged Taeshik to kill them for him. He knew that no one would find out what happened in the dungeon. Taeshik assured him that after they came out, he would report that all 3 had encountered hundreds of goblins here. Uncle Kim and Kong had just arrived at Taeshik's location. They saw him handling the 3 criminals. This was bad luck for Uncle Kim and Fang. Jinwoo had heard the noise and immediately turned around. They also saw the bodies of the 3 prisoners. Kong had also set off and lay next to them. Uncle Kim was gasping over here. Jinwoo wanted Juhee to immediately treat Uncle Kim. Juhee immediately began to heal him. Kim knew he was beyond saving. He apologized to Jinwoo. He didn't want to say this under these circumstances. but everything he said was from the heart. Young man. Then, Uncle Kim passed away. Taeshik unexpectedly attacked as if Jinwoo had figured him out. Now everyone knew who the culprit in this matter was. The young man revealed his original plan. He would finish everything off, starting with the boss. Then, he would report that they were all killed by monsters. Uncle Song wanted to be the one to handle him. Juhee buffed and enhanced Uncle Song. Then the two faced off against each other. Taeshik used an illusion to throw them off. They continued fighting, but Taeshik's speed was still very fast. After a while, Uncle Song took a hit from him. Juhee immediately healed him. Taeshik seemed irritated and aimed to take her out right away. But Uncle Song didn't let him do it easily. He continued using his swift attacks to strike Uncle Song repeatedly. Juhee kept healing him but had been exhausted. Taeshik thought everything was done for. Unexpectedly, Uncle Song used his fire magic. Taeshik successfully dodged it, but he had forgotten that Jinwoo hadn't made his move yet. Jinwoo reminded him of his name and rank, making sure Taeshik remembered. Taeshik was surprised that Jinwoo had kept up with his attack. It seems like he had hidden his strength. Taeshik confirmed that Jinwoo was a reawakened individual. Hearing Uncle Song talk about the two-story dungeon, Taeshik then remembered that Jinwoo was the poor guy from back then. His strength was only a 10, but he dared to be rude. Taeshik pulled out another knife. He confidently claimed that his senior would teach him a lesson. He also mentioned that the victim's father had asked to eliminate the criminals. But what Jinwoo wanted to hear about was Uncle Kim's group. By the way he tortured them, Jinwoo could tell that his true nature wasn't what it seemed. Indeed, his true nature was to enjoy killing people just like killing monsters. The battle between the two sides continued. Taeshik's speed truly lived up to his reputation. Jinwoo also retaliated with his own speed. After a while, the two were evenly matched. Taeshik thought that his combat experience was superior. He played dirty and unleashed a series of attacks on Jinwoo. Jinwoo hoped he wouldn't try to show off such obvious killing intent. The system then created a new mission for Jinwoo. Jinwoo thanked the system for giving him a legitimate reason to eliminate him. Jinwoo activated his skills. Taeshik took a hit to the face. Along with the accompanying effect, the two continued to fight at close range. Taeshik began using his ultimate technique. He used his stealth skill. This was a skill only a few assassin-type hunters possessed. Jinwoo kept taking hits from his invisible sword strikes. Taeshik didn't want Juhee to intervene. He thought he had cut off Jinwoo's legs. But Jinwoo immediately regenerated them. Taeshik had never seen anything like this. Jinwoo didn't want to explain much to scum like him. Taeshik realized that the two of them were the same kind of person. They had both killed people in the same way. Taeshik agreed, because this dungeon was a place with no rules. Only winners and losers. This time, Jinwoo easily blocked all his attacks. Then, he activated his own killing intent mode. Taeshik was completely overwhelmed by it. After that, Jinwoo delivered a direct strike to his heart. The path to my heart. Oh, it's freezing. Taeshik continued to mutter his final words, still wondering what the hell Jinwoo was. But Jinwoo let him know that even he didn't fully understand himself. Taeshik knew that Jinwoo had killed him, so he wouldn't be able to hide himself anymore. He said a few more words, hoping that Jinwoo would become stronger, like the deep darkness behind him. Then the mission was completed. Uncle Song and Juhee continued to thank Jinwoo for saving their lives. Jinwoo wanted both of them to leave first, and that he would be the one to finish the dungeon. The two of them reluctantly followed his advice. Everything was coming to an end. Jin Chul later found out everything. The three survivors were still there with Jinwoo. This brought another surprise to Jin Chul. He apologized because his staff had done such things. But the first thing Jin Chul wanted to know was who had taken down Taeshik. It seemed like Jinwoo couldn't hide it anymore. He thought his proposal with Jinho was probably ruined. Unexpectedly, Uncle Song stepped forward and took the credit. He said that, as a C rank, he was able to defeat a B rank with Juhee's help. Jin Chul was skeptical about this but decided to accept the testimony. He wanted the three of them to cooperate and file a report on the incident. Uncle Song didn't know Jinwoo's reasons, but he saw this as his way of repaying him. Jinwoo and Juhee returned together and had a chat. Juhee felt that Jinwoo had changed a lot, while she had not. Jinwoo knew that a lot had happened. and each person had been affected differently by their own experiences. Juhi saw herself as truly timid, unable to overcome her own limitations. She felt that, as a B rank hunter, she should be involved in high-level raids, but instead, she had been stuck in the D and E ranks. However, she was very happy to have met Jinwoo. She felt like she was always healing him. From the moment they met, she could see the strong vitality within him. She also returned the magic stone she had given him earlier. She thought about deciding to withdraw, to return to her hometown and raise fish and grow more vegetables. She told Jinwoo to contact her if he passed by, and she would take him on a tour and make a vlog about the countryside. Jinwoo promised that, when the time came, he would invite her out for a meal in return. The two of them parted ways. Jin Chul was certain that Jinwoo was the one who had taken down Taeshik. He also had a warning for him, that if he wanted to live a long life, he should be careful. He mentioned the incident with Donsuk, because his younger brother was Wang Dongsu, and it seemed that Dongsu might have Jinwoo in his sights. Along with that D rank hunter, no matter what happened inside, the fact that Jinwoo survived meant that there were no laws that could control an S rank like him. That kind of existence was like a miracle, but also like a disaster. Jin Chul only wanted to warn him, and suggested that it might be better to have his family leave the country. Jinwoo seems to have one more reason to force himself to become stronger. Because being weak means he won't survive for sure. Gino's underling also starts his raid with the boss. But he gathers only hunters who are nothing special. They are all people with hunting licenses. But for some reason, they aren't active. There's also a young girl in the group. This girl is a classmate of Jinwoo's younger sister. Jinwoo doesn't know who she is yet. Then he announces that he and Jinho will go inside. Jinho pays everyone here 3 million for waiting outside. In return, they must not tell anyone about this. If it leaks, they must compensate 10 times the signed contract. Jinwoo receives the secret stone after defeating that Taeshik guy. He plans to try it out to see how it works. Everything seems to be going smoothly. Jinho then gives him a new set of equipment. But in exchange, it's extremely heavy. The boss thinks, you should take it off before it's too late. After a while, he didn't manage to remove it all. But the helmet is still on his head. He's really helpless with this underling. Then the two of them head inside. Everyone wonders why there's only a D and E rank. But they dare to enter Gate C. In the class, Gina doesn't understand why Sung Yi skipped school. An hour has passed. Jinho also starts to return. Jinwoo steps out as the gate begins to close. Now, no one expected that the two of them would successfully break through. The next gate is 1 hour's journey away. Jinho wants everyone to head out because there are 3 spots today. An opportunity to earn 9 million in one day. The two of them continue to cooperate smoothly. One person is mining ore. One person is fighting. The boss Jinwoo easily picks it up. Then day by day, the two continue to advance and keep up. Jinwoo's level keeps rising steadily. The C rank gates are now too easy for Jinwoo. Jinho senses his boss is getting stronger every day. Jinwoo thinks that although he doesn't like the hidden skill much, it really is powerful. His charging skill has also leveled up. The boss charges forward and is defeated in an instant. With his advanced short sword skill and weak point attack, the new skill also has additional effects. But his mana isn't enough to maintain it over time. He thinks he needs to add more points to his intelligence. Everything is going smoothly to conquer the demon castle. But he wonders if everything will be fine if this continues. Suddenly, he receives a notification that the player has reached the required level. The job change quest also appears. Manager On receives a report from Kichel. Because someone unexpectedly spent 150 million to bid for a C gate. Recently, whenever C gates appear, a team bids twice the market price. The team leader is Yu Jinho. On is surprised when he hears that he is the young master of the Yujin construction family. And he also noticed the name Jinwoo in E rank. All the members are hired outsiders. Manager On recalls that Jinwoo was the one who appeared in the 2 story dungeon before. It seems something is going on. The raid process continues as usual. One person suggests replacing Jinho since doing nothing is boring. On senses that Jinwoo is a reawakened individual. He thinks that Jinwoo has faced disaster 3 times, and has emerged unscathed each time. The first time was the 2 story dungeon. After that, It's Dong-suk's team. Then the confrontation with the hunter Taeshik. There were casualties in all 3 incidents. But he survived. If not a reawakening, there's no other explanation. An immediately wants to recruit new members. When he arrives, he sees everyone outside like they're on a picnic. Sung Yi stops them because this is a restricted area. But she accidentally reveals she's also a hunter. Now An realizes Jinwoo left everyone outside and went in with just 2 people. As expected, he's a rare and hard to find character. Then both of them leave after that. The raid continues to be successful. Jinwoo remembers he's busy tomorrow, so he asks to delay it. Jinho also decides to postpone the gate for tomorrow. An and Kichul, who've been standing outside, have heard the conversation. Jong-in just had a nightmare. Once again, the dream was haunted by Jeju Island. The Hunter Guild's battle plan is also ready. When Jinwoo returns home, An and Kichul come right to him. They introduce themselves as managers at the White Tiger Guild. Then they have a coffee and chat. An brings up the White Tiger Guild's profile. He gets straight to the point about signing a contract with Jinwoo, offering twice the pay compared to Yujin Construction, and he'll meet all his needs. An thinks someone like Jinwoo, a mere E-rank hunter, wouldn't turn down this kind of treatment. Jinwoo asks how much the White Tiger Guild buildings cost. An mentions they cost around 15 billion. Jinwoo thinks they'll give him one then. He then brings up the 30 billion. That's the reward Yujin Construction proposed to him. He hands the contract to An. So Jinwoo thinks everything's settled and there's nothing else to discuss. He was a bit curious about how they found out about him. Probably secretly investigating him or something. Then he had manager An test the hidden skill. An had to admit that they investigated because all the dungeons were sold out. And that's how they found out about him. Jinwoo wanted to know how many people knew about him. An said it was only him and Kichul so far. Jinwoo didn't want this information to spread. So if anything happens, he'd suspect An's group first. An didn't dare to speak up, as he feared for his life. Jinwoo apologized for buying up all the C-rank dungeons. The White Tiger Guild had a problem because there were no more gates left to train their rookies. So Jinwoo proposed a deal to sell back the 3 gates he had reserved. An asked about the price, and Jinwoo said 300 million per gate. But An knew that each gate was worth around 200 million. So he asked for a discount. Jinwoo immediately agreed without hesitation. The deal was settled, 600 million for 3 gates. The deal was closed, and Jinwoo gave him the account number and the money had to be transferred the next day. Jinwoo also had a gift for manager An. He gave him a fast healing medicine. Then he left, still hoping that this secret would remain between just the 2 of them. An could only tell his subordinates that Jinwoo was a huge figure he never expected. The next day, Jinho reported that he had received the money. He didn't expect the gates he was going to cancel would be sold at such a high price. An was shocked when he found out that the White Tiger Guild now had a surplus of C-rank gates. Since Yujin Construction stopped bidding, the price for each gate was now under 70 million. Now, the young man realized he had been tricked into recruitment and swindled out of money. Jinwoo sent a message and promised to overlook the investigation about him. Manager An realized he had just taken a big loss against Jinwoo. Even though he lost, he now had a way to contact him. Sometimes, that's worth it. Jinwoo begins his job change quest. He arrives at a forest far from the city. This quest is different from all the previous ones. He can do whatever he wants, so he assumes it must be quite challenging. Then it begins. As soon as it starts, a large gate appears right before him. Jinwoo doesn't know what awaits him inside, but he's sure it will be quite interesting to see. Meanwhile, Gino's family meeting is taking place. It's been a long time since the 2 brothers have seen each other. Jinwoo enters the dungeon and receives a notification that he can't use any potions or recovery items. If he doesn't complete the quest, he won't be able to escape. Hearing footsteps approaching, he immediately draws his weapon. A night monster appears. Without saying a word, the battle begins instantly. Jinwoo strikes but it has no effect. The opponent counters immediately. Afterward, Jinwoo retaliates with full force and lands a blow on his opponent. But the armor is too tough. He only dodges the attacks and thinks of a way to break through the tough armor. Remembering how he defeated the Serpent King with his bare hands, he decides to try that method again. Sure enough, he succeeds in tearing apart the armor. The knight is defeated after that. Before he can think any further, 4 more knights appear. Meanwhile, Jinho is worried while with his father and brother. The plan to form a guild hasn't been going well since all the S-rank hunters in the country have refused. Jinsung doesn't see it as a problem, because he's currently negotiating with hunters in Europe and the Middle East. Jinho now understands what his brother's idea is. He also realizes that his brother knows he's been secretly operating behind his back. Whatever happens, I just hope you don't interfere with my brother. Jinho seems to think his brother doesn't know about the boss, so he believes that as long as the boss's strength is there, everything will be fine. Jinwoo continues to deal with the night monsters. Suddenly, one of them uses stealth to attack him. Before he can catch his breath, a mage attacks. He didn't expect the monsters to be able to use such special techniques. The monsters keep appearing. Jinwoo thinks he needs to focus and handle each type of monster according to its nature. For knights, it's brute strength. For assassins, it's sharp senses. For mages and archers, it's agility and intellect. Indeed, dealing with them is starting to wear him out. He thinks he should wrap this up quickly. The Hunter Guild has finished gathering. Guildmaster Zhang-in seems to think it's time. Jinwoo has completed dealing with the monsters. He takes a sip of water to regain his strength. He also collects a lot of items and equipment from them, so he decides to try them on. Surprisingly, they become invisible when he wears them. His body moves smoothly, just like normal. Everything is fine now, and it's time to move forward. Jinwoo enters a room. He doesn't know how strong the enemy inside will be. He opens the door and steps in. A chilling atmosphere immediately fills the room. As soon as he enters, the flames in the room are lit. The boss of the room appears. It's a knight wearing red armor, known as Igris, the leader of the Red Snow Knights. The knight is ready to protect the empty throne. Igris is the one who starts the battle. He rushes forward and delivers a powerful sword strike. The pillar of the room breaks as easily as a twig. Then he continues attacking Jinwoo. Each sword swing destroys something instantly. Jinwoo can only try to dodge the blows. He didn't expect that despite wearing heavy armor, Igris's speed is still incredibly fast. Jinwoo begins to attack, but Igris skillfully dodges the attacks with great agility. Indeed, Igris's armor is incredibly tough. A sword strike comes down from above. Jinwoo struggles to block the attack, then realizes that the speed of both sides is nearly equal. Indeed, the short sword has no effect against that armor. The enemy is much stronger than him. Jinwoo has no choice but to continue fighting with his bare hands. Igris, seeing this, throws his weapons down. With a proud martial spirit, Zhang-in contacts President Go to thank him, thanking him for approving the combat plan. The president believes this is the result of Zhang-in mentioning Jeju Island. He just wanted to make a small contribution to this process. He still advises the guild to be careful, because the place is very dangerous. Zhang-in's purpose this time is just to test the enemy's strength, to lightly clash and understand their fighting capabilities and scale. Indeed, after the third raid, the battle still lingers in Zhang-in's mind. Jinwoo just took a punch straight to the face from Igris. Then he's thrown into the wall. Igris continues to pin Jinwoo down. After a while, the wall collapses from the impact. Unable to withstand the force, Jinwoo didn't expect that despite his armor, he still lost about 500 HP. He was surprised that even after Igris threw away his sword, he was still this strong. Jinwoo begins to activate his speed boost. Then he uses his level 10 lightning fast movement technique. He punches, then kicks Igris. He continuously strikes with both hands and feet but can't catch up with his opponent. Igris counters and punches Jinwoo back, knocking him down. Jinwoo activates his defensive skills. Igris throws a huge rock at him, then continues to pound Jinwoo relentlessly. The two of them fight like ancient martial arts masters, punching, kicking. After a while, Jinwoo succeeds in landing a kick to Igris's face, but this only makes Igris angrier. So Jinwoo continues to take beatings. It's as if Igris treats him like a toy. Jinwoo is unable to do anything except endure the attacks. He is left breathing heavily on the throne. At home, Gina finishes preparing dinner for him, then continues her studies. Igris steps in front of Jinwoo, then calls his sword back, ready to send Jinwoo off to the afterlife. But unexpectedly, Jinwoo blocks the attack, because he hasn't lost yet. He counterattacks immediately. Drawing his weapon, he thrusts it straight into Igris's head. The two continue to clash. Igris unexpectedly pulls out his own sword and uses it to counterattack. Knowing it couldn't be transferred, Jinwoo summoned it back. He thrusts the weapon into Igris's neck again. Jinwoo feels that the fight is too shallow, and he needs to go deeper. All his skills immediately get activated. Then, he delivers the final blow. Jinwoo draws his weapon, uncertain whether he has won or not. The system finally confirms that he has defeated Igris. He knows his victory is just by luck, because he was at a disadvantage in every aspect of the fight. 4 rewards appear, and S. Rank equipment, gold that has been added to his pocket, a helmet that reduces 15% physical damage, an additional 20 points in endurance. There is also a cursed rock with the hand of the ruler, and a teleportation stone. Jinwoo realizes that the job change quest is still not finished. Suddenly, many portals appear. The job change quest is just beginning. Now, he must survive as long as possible to earn more points for leveling up. The system wishes him luck. Monsters start emerging from the portals. While Jinwoo is confident in his level, the sheer number of monsters seems troublesome. The Hunters Guild sets off. Monsters keep appearing endlessly. Jinwoo uses his stealth to hide. His mana and HP are nearly depleted. He plans to stall for time but gets detected. The monsters immediately launch their attack again. Jinwoo is forced to continue holding out. After a while, he gets hit by a monster. Only 5 minutes have passed. He plans to use the teleportation stone but gets caught once more. The stone also fell away. All the monsters continued to charge forward in one wave. Jinwoo was cornered. He also lost track of the teleportation stone. He thought the only way out now was to defeat all the monsters here. Then, he continued to throw himself into the relentless battle. After all, he had to be determined to survive no matter what. It was still a 1 vs 100 situation. He knew he had once been at the bottom of society, understood that misery better than anyone, so he desperately wanted to reach the pinnacle, to rise above it all. Jinwoo was so exhausted that he could no longer see clearly. Suddenly, he heard his nickname, the weakest weapon of humanity. He kept taking attacks to his body. The criticisms continued to echo in his ears. The images of everyone kept appearing in his mind. Even he himself appeared. If you do it, you bear the consequences. Why force yourself to choose such a dangerous path? Isn't it enough to have grown this far as an E rank, isn't it? Sung Jinwoo? During the 3rd Jeju Island raid, Chairman Go's body couldn't handle it anymore, so he didn't participate. Jin Chul was there. Indeed, many people sacrificed themselves. Those who returned carried deep sorrow in their hearts. As hunters, everyone had their scars, but if they didn't overcome them, what awaited them would be destruction. Jinwoo was witnessing the image of his past self. Even though everything outside had changed, inside, he was still a weakling. Now, he was on the verge of death. Hunter rank E, Sung Jinwoo, could only be this way. He continued to take blows from the night monsters. The image of himself kept looking down on him, thinking that he himself was the one who killed his own fate. In the end, he returned to the trough. Suddenly, the daily quest ran out of time. Sometimes, luck is a kind of power. Perhaps it still didn't want Jinwoo to die here. See you later, me. Jinwoo quickly managed to teleport to the place where he would receive his punishment. It was still the same desert. Indeed, thinking back, he hadn't completed the daily quest, but it was really just in time to save a critical situation. He immediately bought items from the shop to use right away. He drank 3 bottles of water in one go to relieve the fatigue. His health couldn't regenerate because he was heavily injured. The centipedes had appeared by now. Indeed, it was lucky once again. Right in time, Jinwoo immediately finished them off, because if time ran out, he would return to that place. Gina woke up from a nap and found the food was still intact. As expected, her brother hadn't returned. She wondered if he went out with his girlfriend. She had already told him there was a parent meeting tomorrow, which was strange. Jinwoo's level had increased again. He had recovered his condition. There were only 10 minutes left before time ran out here. He decided to strengthen his equipment. He bought a short sword for 2,800 gold. It dealt an additional 25% damage to armored monsters. Then, he used the ancient stone he had just obtained from defeating Igris. He activated the Hand of the Ruler skill. The skill didn't consume mana, which was really effective. Physical actions without even needing to touch anything. Time was almost up. When he returned, the number of monsters had increased significantly. The Hunter Guild began to notice something while on their way to Jeju Island. With his new toy in hand, Jinwoo easily wiped out the night monsters. But he still had an extremely uncomfortable feeling. He didn't know what the monsters were planning. He now realized that it was the mages who were summoning the portals. That's why no matter how many monsters he defeated, he wasn't getting any experience. Jinwoo immediately targeted the mages. As expected, it was effective right away. His focus was now solely on the remaining mages. There were only 4 left. Jinwoo continued to unleash his attacks. The corpses of the night monsters were piled up. He quickly took down another mage. Now only 3 left. These 3 worked together to summon a gigantic night monster. Jinwoo continued to fight while thinking of a way to defeat them all. His goal was still to take out the remaining 3 mages. Eventually, all 3 of them fell. But in return, the giant knight had not yet been defeated. Jinwoo was getting really fed up with it. So, he decided to send the giant monster after the 3 mages as well. And it was officially defeated. The time taken was 4 hours and 29 minutes for this class change quest. His achievement points were enough to level up to a higher class. The system adjusted it for him. He read the description but didn't understand what it was. And this was his new job class. It was called the Soul Summoner. It was a mage class specializing in summoning and commanding undead monsters. Meanwhile, he belonged to the Assassin class. Jinwoo wasn't sure if changing classes would be suitable for him. The system also presented a choice of yes or no for him. Jinwoo immediately chose no because he thought it was too risky. The system then informed him that it was a hidden class. It gave him a chance to choose again. Jinwoo began to think it over. Looking at the corpses of the mages, he realized their abilities were quite similar to his. He thought that since this was a class change for him, it seemed like everything had already been arranged. Indeed, this was part of the system's scheme. Upon further reflection, he realized that there was no restriction on the Soul Summoner not being able to fight on the front lines. The class was like a skill that gets enhanced as it levels up. The Legion would level up alongside him. And from now on, he wouldn't be leveling up alone anymore. So, he accepted it. The dawn had just risen. Jin Chul and Chairman Go guessed that the Hunter Guild must have arrived on the island by now. As for Jinwoo, he had just successfully changed his class. A new source of power was activated immediately. The system notified him that he had received a lot of achievement points. Then, as expected, what was meant to happen, happened. The Soul Summoner officially became the Shadow Emperor. He didn't understand why he had changed classes twice. He hadn't expected to accumulate so many points. Jinwoo looked around and felt as though someone was wailing in despair. The system also wanted him to set a command for the Dark Extract skill. Jinwoo named it, Rise. Then, one by one, the monsters he had just defeated began to rise again. These were the 2 specialized abilities of Jinwoo, Dark Extraction and Dark Assimilation. The mages had also been resurrected. They had their own levels now. Suddenly, he wondered if he could extract A rank or even S rank shadows. The power might also be affected accordingly. Then, he went to where Igris was. Indeed, he was able to extract the shadow. Due to the limit, he managed to extract 11 foot soldiers. Igris was also called to rise. But unexpectedly, the process failed. There were only 2 extractions left. Jinwoo tried once more. Again, it ended in failure. Chairman Go was talking to Jin Chul. If a hunter doesn't awaken again, nothing will change in terms of strength, whether they become stronger or weaker. That's why they have to train their bodies and gather their teammates. Jinwoo was using words to persuade Igris. Please protect me in front of everyone, not just a vacant chair. Then, he continued the resurrection process. This time, Igris was successfully resurrected. His current level was 7. And he wanted his master to name him. Chairman Go, on the other hand, hoped that many others would awaken. Because at this moment, it seemed like a new spark was being born. Jinwoo still chose the old name, Igris. As expected, Igris was extremely respectful towards his master. The entire army had to bow their heads before Jinwoo. The Hunter Guild had already taken down and captured the corpse of the ant. But Jong-in didn't expect it to be evolving. After a night of intense training. In the early morning, it was already 2:12 p.m., Jinwoo received a call from his sister. Today, he had to go to the parent-teacher meeting for her. He suddenly realized, oh, I totally forgot. Then, he quickly turned into a swan. Today Jinwoo wasn't in his usual gym clothes because it was his sister's parent-teacher meeting. Some girls who hadn't gotten over their crushes immediately became excited when they saw a handsome guy. His younger sister also wanted to set him up with her friend, making her his sister-in-law. So, Jinwoo playfully teased his sister. She was really chatty. Gina was praised by the teacher as a good student with great results. Her mock exam scores placed her in the top ranks for the university she wanted to enter, which was a medical school. The teacher also asked Jinwoo one thing: if his sister suddenly awakened her abilities, would he support her in becoming a hunter? Jinwoo thought, of course, he wouldn't. The teacher also asked for his help with something. Later, Jinwoo went to find the girl from before. She remembered him. Indeed, the world is round. She knew Gina. And now she also knew that Jinwoo was her older brother. She was adamant about quitting school to become a hunter, even if it meant being a low-level E-class hunter and not earning enough to live. Looking back, Jinwoo realized that he and the girl were in the same situation. Yet here she was trying to teach him a lesson. Jinwoo just sighed. He wanted to take her to a place. At the airport, the plane had just landed. Hunter Wang Donso had arrived. He immediately complained that this country was as humid as ever. He didn't expect the Hunter Association's manager to greet him in person. Donso had no intention of staying here at all. He just wanted the managers to pretend to be blind and deaf. As for what he was going to do with the two guys, that was something they shouldn't ask too much about. First, it would be the E-class guy, then the D-class guy. He had everything planned out. And if the younger guy wanted to take him down first, he was welcome to try. The association president and the chairman were in a meeting. They paid attention to the fact that the ant's feathers were evolving. Currently, they were trying to evolve to fly into the sky. Jinwoo led the girl, Sung Jin, to a portal. He had contacted two managers, An and Kichel. Both were surprised to hear that Jinwoo wanted to learn the training process. The portal had just been upgraded to AC level gate. The team leader for today was A-class hunter Kim Chul. He was a tank, someone who could take hits. This was essentially a training session for young members. Kim Chul didn't expect to carry two E-class weights. He was really hot-headed. In the group, there were also 5 B-class and 2 C-class hunters. This mission would involve 10 people. Jinwoo hoped the girl would reconsider after seeing the brutal reality. It seemed that this team was already too strong, so it probably wouldn't matter much anymore. Jinwoo was also told quietly by the manager that the young hunters were expected to show off, so he was asked to step aside. Then, they all proceeded into the portal. As soon as Jinwoo stepped in, he immediately felt something was wrong. A very uncomfortable, strange feeling overcame him. The portal suddenly and unexpectedly changed. Jinwoo tried to notify the two managers. He hoped both would contact the main assault team immediately. "This is bad, my lord." The information was quickly reported back. Jinwoo's group had arrived in a forest with snow falling heavily. The portal had disappeared, and no one knew how to get back. Jinwoo revealed that this portal was different from normal ones. It was a special dungeon type. Once entered, you would be completely isolated from the outside. The only way to leave was to defeat the boss or trigger a dungeon explosion. Not to mention, the monsters that appeared were all much higher in level. Just as Jinwoo mentioned it, the monsters showed up right away. A C-class member was hit by an ice arrow and it was game over. Jinwoo successfully caught the arrow and saved Sung Jin's life. The girl in the group noticed this. The ice elf monsters had appeared. Jinwoo knew they were targeting the two weakest members. If it had been him 2 months ago, he would have been the target. They moved on. The ice elf monsters were also known as white devils. Kim Chul issued an order that this portal had a difficulty level of B-class or higher. To survive and return, they had to follow the orders he had given. The young man, wanting to be cautious, suggested splitting into 2 groups. He saw this as the best way to increase their chances of survival. He assured everyone who followed him would definitely survive. The B class members immediately chose their sides. However, the guy refused to take anyone below C class. Since leaving the portal could take a month, they had to abandon any unnecessary burdens. The B class girl who had noticed Jinwoo earlier asked to switch groups. The girl guessed that Jinwoo couldn't be E rank. The 2 groups split up. One group took the long route, and the other took the main road. Kim Chul's group had barely taken a few steps when they were immediately attacked. 3 white bears appeared right in front of all 5 of them. Kim Chul used his shield to block the attack, followed by a slash. One of the bears was sent to meet its maker. The remaining 2 charged together at once. Meanwhile, Jinwoo's group, the B rank girl, noticed the scratches on the trees. Realizing that the entire forest was the bears' territory, she suggested they turn back before they ran into them. Jinwoo knew this, so he went deeper into the forest. He figured it would be safer to just be cautious of the bears than to deal with the white elves, who were much smarter. The girl now realized she hadn't considered this. Jinwoo felt how cold the forest was. He opened his bag and handed out warm clothes to everyone. The C rank guy and the B rank girl were surprised Jinwoo had so many items with him. All 4 of them put on the warm clothes. Sung Jin didn't really know who Jinwoo was, but Jinwoo promised to take responsibility for protecting the girl. He also told the other 2 to remain silent and not ask any questions. Just after he finished speaking, a bear appeared. Jinwoo immediately adjusted his settings. Outside the portal, there was no way to get in. Baek Yonho just hoped that a few A rank and B rank members would survive. The 2 managers also reported that Sung Jinwoo was inside, even though he was only E rank. Manager An suspected he might be a reawakened hunter, but that was just a suspicion. Suddenly, Wang Dongso arrived. It seemed like something interesting was going on here. The big boss of the White Tiger Association had personally arrived. Dongso asked why an E rank hunter was able to enter a portal managed by the renowned White Tiger Association. He specifically mentioned Sung Jinwoo. Honestly, he really wanted to meet him, but upon arriving, he encountered this portal. Dongso guessed that Jinwoo must have been taken out by the monsters inside already. However, because of this, Jinwoo avoided meeting Wang Dongso too early. Inside the portal, Jinwoo alone had already taken care of a bunch of bears. The experience he gained was also quite substantial. Afterward, the group had a barbecue with the bear meat. Jinwoo finished eating and then went off to work out. But in reality, he was going hunting for more bears. He summoned some of his minions to assist him. He considered this their first mission. And so, a massacre ensued. The army of shadow soldiers fought against the White Bear Association. The mage soldiers provided high firepower. The infantry units regenerated quickly. However, the mana consumption for Jinwoo was pretty high. Eventually, the leader of the bears appeared. The infantry and firepower had no effect on it. Everything was quickly defeated. Jinwoo's mana was completely drained. Only Igris was left. It was now time for Igris to show what he could do. The bear leader thought it would be easy, but it was quickly slashed in the shoulder, causing immense pain. Igris followed up with a stab from above. Then he landed another strike to both of the bear's legs. The bear leader knew its fate was sealed. Igris delivered one final blow, beheading the bear. Jinwoo thought back to the moment when Igris had been using his sword throughout the battle. He realized he probably would have lost if it had been him fighting alone. It seemed like his current strength was weaker than he had expected. The entire group of bears was completely wiped out. On this side, Kim Chul's group has almost completely departed. The whole pack of white ghosts gave everyone a beating. Kim Chul wet his pants and could only run away. Jinwoo had just finished dealing with the bears and reawakened them all. It truly looked impressive. It's already been 3 hours now. Inside the gate, it's probably been more than 3 days. Wang Dongsu felt it was a waste to have come here. He thought Jinwoo had probably died 8 generations ago. He still wondered why Jinwoo had joined the White Tiger Guild's assault team. Manager An said he was an acquaintance of his, and he heard Jinwoo wanted to tour Gate C, so he brought him along. An thought everything would go smoothly, but Dongsu wouldn't let it go. Dongsu figured An's superior must have sensed something interesting. Yonho wanted Dongsu to back off and stop his actions immediately. Dongsu thought, how dare these people from a tiny country try to order me around? Both sides flared their aura, ready to fight. An felt that if this continued, the two ranks would actually brawl, and the two of them immediately threw punches at each other. Meanwhile, Kim Chul was freezing in fear inside. Now he saw the corpses of the bears. He wondered, could ranks have done this? But then thought this must be an illusion. And so, he continued wetting himself and ran even further. Outside, it was Wu Jin who stopped the punch from the two ranks. He figured that because they both held back, his arm wasn't broken. He confirmed that 2 months ago, he was the one who appraised Jinwoo. So he was sure Jinwoo was only an rank. And Hunter Wang Dongsuk was confirmed to have died fighting monsters. Dongsu still believed the whole thing was a scam, because the person who did it must have been the construction company heir of Yujin. As expected, Dongsu used this as an excuse to go after Jinwoo. Suddenly, he received a phone call. Then he finally agreed to leave. Manager An was certain that Jinwoo would survive and return. Kim Chul encountered Sung Jin's group again. He couldn't believe that these weaklings were still alive, even eating and chatting happily together. Furious, he came to confront them. He blamed everything on himself running out of equipment and food, which caused his teammates to die. He suspected that Heejin knew everything from the start. That's why she switched sides and joined this group. Kim Chul demanded to know the truth or he would kill all three of them. Just as he was about to charge in, Jinwoo appeared. With a single push, he sent the guy flying 10 meters away. A group of white ghosts had also arrived, and the boss of this gate had made his appearance as well. He didn't expect Jinwoo to understand his language. From the beginning, he said that among the humans, Jinwoo was the strongest. He wanted to be the one to fight Jinwoo. Not even a second later, his head was separated from his neck. After that, Jinwoo lunged at the boss to attack. The horse he rode on was also taken out in that strike. The boss wasn't just some average foe. When they encountered humans, the others heard a command to kill them all. But for Jinwoo, he didn't hear that message. Jinwoo still didn't understand why. A deal was offered. The boss wanted the three people behind Jinwoo. In return, Jinwoo wouldn't be touched. Jinwoo asked why the white ghosts were hostile toward humans. But just as the boss was about to reveal what they truly were, time suddenly seemed to rewind. He repeated his previous line again. This time, Jinwoo rejected the offer. The boss sneered, "You think a minority can beat the majority?" As soon as he finished speaking, Jinwoo summoned his entire shadow army. And then, the battle between the two armies began. Both sides immediately engaged in close combat. Sung Jin's group abandoned their belongings and fled amidst the chaos. 3 of the white ghosts tried to launch a sneak attack but were swiftly taken out by Jinwoo in just 3 seconds. Although Jinwoo's army was immortal, it still required him to use mana to resurrect them. Jinwoo's power wouldn't last forever under such strain. Not to mention, the boss was also a formidable opponent. The two sides came face to face. Jinwoo thought that even teaming up with Igris might not be enough to beat him. The boss revealed his name was Barca. Jinwoo introduced himself and summoned another blade. The two resumed their fierce battle. They exchanged blow after blow without pause. Jinwoo took a full force kick to the stomach. Barca was thrilled, saying it had been a long time since he felt this excited. Firepower from the mages rained down. Kim Chul gradually regained consciousness and was furious at Jinwoo. But the firepower had no effect on Barca. Kim Chul was also charging into the fight. Jinwoo seemed like he was about to be crushed in the middle. Suddenly, a snowstorm Jinwoo created erupted. From behind it, one of Jinwoo's shadow generals appeared. In truth, Jinwoo had found Kim Chul too bothersome at the time. Igris appeared and created a whirlwind to distract everyone. Then it was Igris who sent Kim Chul to meet his maker. Jinwoo also resurrected Kim Chul's shadow. From then on, he named him Iron. Barca continued his attack. Iron, being the tank-type general, was incredibly slow. Barca was extremely agile in contrast. Meanwhile, the 3 team members were enjoying the spectacle of this epic battle. It was the first time everyone had seen something like this. Barca wanted both Jinwoo and Igris to join the fight at once to make it more exciting. But pampering him too much made him act out. The relentless battle continued without holding back. Iron let out another lion's roar. Barca continued fighting both Iron and Igris at once. While dodging, Jinwoo suddenly landed a strike on his shoulder. Jinwoo admitted that even in this situation, Barca still avoided a fatal hit. Barca felt that Jinwoo was underestimating him. In response, Jinwoo asked, "So how's your army doing?" The answer: flat on the ground. Obviously, Barca still believed he could take on everyone by himself. Jinwoo threw his weapon, then summoned it back in reverse like a boomerang. Barca blocked it, but the impact shattered his own weapon. That's when Iron stepped up. Then came 3 blasts of fire from the mage soldiers. Barca lost it, furious that he had been pushed this far. But Jinwoo appeared, giving him his curtain call. A stab straight through the stomach, followed by a direct hammer blow from Iron. This time, Barca truly went to meet his ancestors. But Iron still wasn't done pounding. Jinwoo immediately gave him a warning. "Whatever you do, keep it within reason, my guy." As expected, Kim Chul's shadow really lived up to his personality. Everything had finally come to an end. The gate out had also appeared. Jinwoo wanted to do one last thing with Barca's corpse. Then the whole group began walking out of the gate. Beck still believed that Hunter Kim Chul's team could have handled it. But clearly, no one besides Jinwoo's group had made it out. The gate was finally closed. Guild Master Beck didn't know where the others had gone. Of course, they were all dead. He didn't expect only low-ranking hunters to return. Beck had something he wanted to say to Jinwoo, but Jinwoo refused, saying he was too tired. "If you want anything, ask your own guild member." But Beck still asked, because 6 of his guild members had gone missing this time. As their leader, he felt responsible and wanted to know the truth. Jinwoo considered that he had done his part by saving 2 of them. "I should be the one receiving thanks first." Beck accepted that and bowed his head to apologize. After that, Beck asked his own guild member about Jinwoo. Since Jinwoo didn't seem very friendly, she said that after defeating the boss, his mood turned really bad, probably because exhaustion hit him hard. Beck then told manager An to recruit Jinwoo to their guild at any cost. Sung Jin was escorted home. He thanked Jinwoo deeply for today, and hoped they could continue working together in the future. Jinwoo returned home. It seemed that the only worthwhile reward today was Barca's weapon. At the time, he had wanted to make Barca his subordinate, but the shadow extraction failed. He tried 3 times, but it still didn't work. Still, he gained the goofy iron as a bonus today. The next day, his follower Jinho came to pick him up. Surprisingly, Jinwoo also came to pick up Sung Jin. The 2 chatted warmly in the car. Jinho was confused about what kind of relationship they had. He was super flustered since he was still a minor. Big Bro then Jinwoo took his follower Jinho to grind dungeons without using paid support. The guy had no idea what his boss was even doing. He froze at the sight in front of him. Jinwoo revealed that this was actually one of his skills. Jinho didn't quite understand the skill. "If you ask me that, I really don't know how to explain it either," said Jinwoo. After that, Jinwoo had his entire shadow army mine magic crystals. Jinho was disappointed, hoping his boss would at least leave the collecting to him. But then, he finally got his wish. In some dungeon in the U.S., a group of hunters had just been knocked unconscious. A disheveled Korean man with messy hair and body appeared. He couldn't speak English but still claimed he was human and just wanted to go home. After collecting the magic crystals, Jinwoo and Jinho went drinking. Jinwoo had kept his promise of completing 19 dungeons with Jinho. Jinho's next plan was to take the theoretical exam at the association to get his guild master license. Jinwoo said it might be hard to keep in touch soon. Jinho knew he was quite bothersome, so he promised not to bother his big bro anymore. He went on to talk about his older brother, who was over 10 years older than him. That brother hated him deeply. Compared to that guy, Jinwoo not only saved his life, but also helped him whenever he asked. So he felt Jinwoo was more of a real brother to him. Hearing that made Jinwoo really happy. "Then from now on, I'll acknowledge you as my little brother," he said. Jinho was overjoyed, 100% for real. Big Bro, meanwhile, the mysterious man was captured. He claimed he had been trapped inside a gate for 10 years. Somehow, it had connected to a gate in the U.S. Since he didn't speak English, all information had to be gathered through an interpreter. Currently, an S-rank hunter living in Washington is also coming to assist. It turns out that they're actually from the same country. That person is none other than Dongsu. The investigation will begin once Dongsu returns to Korea. Jinwoo also packed his backpack and left, planning to be gone for a whole week. He said goodbye to his sister and departed. Eventually, he arrived at his destination. The last time he fought Cerberus, he was only level 20. But now, his level is 3 times that. Theoretically, this trip should be a piece of cake. Jinwoo opened the gate and stepped inside. His solo grinding journey continued. As soon as he entered, he received a quest. The castle was filled with many evil souls. The quest condition was to collect 10 evil souls. But this time, Jinwoo had a different goal. Whether it's 10 or 100 000, I'll take them all on myself. Meanwhile, Jinho went to talk to his father. His dad couldn't believe Jinho still went ahead despite knowing about Jinsung's plan. Because Jinho knew the plan to appoint a foreigner as guild master posed great risk to the company. His father was also aware of the 3 major incidents caused by Sung Jinwoo. And despite all that, he somehow survived. He also knew that every raid organized by Jinho had Jinwoo's participation. Just the other day, there was another incident at the White Tiger Guild's gate. And once again, it was Sung Jinwoo who led the surviving group. He even knew it was thanks to Jinwoo that Jinho got his guild master license. Still, Jinho wanted his father to hand over the Yujin Guild to him. Because if his older brother were to lead, the future was certain to go downhill. His father agreed, but on one condition. He knew the White Tiger Guild was trying to recruit Jinwoo. So, he wanted Jinho to do it first, before they could. He also promised his father he would do it. Meanwhile, Jinwoo had already wrecked all the monsters in the area. But currently, he couldn't extract anything from the demons yet. He just received a new clearance document to move to the upper floor. And so, he continued advancing deeper into the dungeon. Thinking that walking was tiring, he summoned his alpha bear subordinate to carry him for comfort. But the monsters kept showing up. The alpha bear, still strong, carried its master forward. Jinwoo decided to name it Tank from now on. Meanwhile, Heian had just finished a swim. She remained the center of attention because of her beauty. She didn't understand why the information about the feathers wasn't made public. That was an order from the association. Because making it public now would only create more chaos. The chairman believed that, for the sake of responsibility and growth as the country's largest guild, there was no need to worry, since they were still building their forces. Jinwoo continued to dominate the monsters. He was still grinding hard to climb the higher floors. He guessed this demon castle might be structured like the original tower. So he thought it might go up to 100 floors. He wondered how strong he would be if he climbed that high. The important thing now was whether he had enough food. And there was also his promise to his sister Gina to be back in 1 week. So he treated this like a race against time. It was still the same grind, food, farming, and fighting. After 77, 49, 81 hardships, a humorous exaggeration, he finally gathered the 10,000 souls. And then, another battle between 2 armies broke out. At this point, he had reached the 50th floor. Manager An and the B-rank girl were also trying to find Jinwoo. But all communication had been cut off at this point. He only mentioned to his sister that he was going on a 1-week trip. Jinwoo wants me to be the one to deal with the boss. The evil soldiers will be dealt with by my squad. The battle takes place. Thanks to increasing intelligence points, he can now store more soldiers. He also has more magical power to maintain them. This makes fighting much easier. The boss suddenly moves to attack. Jinwoo starts to act and responds. He punches it 50 meters away for being rude. The boss gets enraged after being punched. It begins to retaliate. Iron is ordered to throw the shield. The boss continuously attacks Jinwoo. Jinwoo didn't expect this fat guy to be so surprisingly agile. He waits for a weak moment and then counterattacks. He intends to finish it off with a sword. But it's not that easy. Luckily, Jinwoo reacts in time. He didn't expect the boss to see his movement. He thought the head would be the damage point. He begins the plan to lock its movement first. Jinwoo uses a building to lure it in. Then he summons another sword and strikes its shoulder immediately. It goes down after that. Dongzhou's investigation and the mysterious man's actions begin. The reckless guy meets the dangerous one, and they start talking nonsense. The mysterious man asks Dongzhou how many gates and monsters humans have discovered so far. Because dungeons, gates, and monsters are just the surface. The true power that causes the worst disasters has finally awakened. Be prepared mentally to face it. The man's goal is to prevent that disaster. Dongzhou sees that the world is full of hunters. He thinks that using quantity over quality won't make any difference. Everything will be consumed and exploited. Dongzhou is strong, but he's probably not unbeatable. Dongzhou also learns from his testimony that the man has a wife and 2 children. He asks if the man remembers his son's name. Of course, that's Jinwoo, and this man is Jinwoo's father. Dongzhou finds this incredibly interesting. He insists that the man's son is dead. If he has any last words, he should go down there and speak to him himself. Both sides exude killing intent. Ready to fight. Jinwoo is still conquering the castle. He continues to dominate the next boss. It's quickly taken down in an instant. In a city in the United States, the battle ends quickly and neatly. Normally, when an S-rank fights, it would cause a lot of destruction. But here, before the damage could spread, Dongzhou was already defeated and several bodies were found. Jinwoo's supplies ran out. He was forced to stop here. He's currently on the 75th floor, with 25 more floors to go. Even so, the harvest was very fruitful. The equipment obtained from the bosses has great features. But there's still one more item left. There's also a greedy orb beside it, as well as a random curse box. He received a mysterious key but doesn't know where to use it. He has now collected the fragments of the world tree and the forest spring water. He already has 2 of the 3 materials needed to create the holy life water. Only one more ingredient is needed, and his mother will get better. He's determined to return next time and clean up everything here. He also returns through the gate. Right now, all that's needed is the purified blood of the Demon King to create the holy water. Jinwoo's level has increased a lot, but in return, his rank is still E. Even if his level is high, he doesn't have the right to participate in higher level raids. He thinks it might be time to end this act. It's time to go through the Hunter assessment. Today, many people are coming to assess themselves. Manager Kitchell suddenly has something to report to Beck. He informs about the appearance of Jinwoo. Jinwoo has officially returned for his rank assessment. He is called in when it's his turn. The assessment process is no different from the last time. He just needs to touch the orb in front of him. But this time, the assessment machine malfunctions. The assessment staff tries again, but the machine continues to malfunction. The supervisor comes in, hears about the malfunction, and wants to try again. Now he realizes it's not the equipment's fault, but rather the machine can't measure it. This means Jinwoo's magical power exceeds the machine's ability to measure. The supervisor confirms that he is the 10th S rank of this country. Zhang In and Jin Chul are talking about feathers. It's known that the research department has begun dissecting them. Then they compare the current strength with the past to see how it has changed. Both of them also mention the event at the White Tiger Guild's gate. Jin Chul isn't clear about the situation because he was only there for a short while. Both of them see that the waiting hall is quite lively. Then they decide to go check out the excitement. Everyone here is shocked when they learn about Jinwoo. Kitchell is determined to recruit him. Zhang In and Jin Chul arrive. When the president of the Hunters Guild arrives, everyone is surprised again. He's known as the one at the top of fire magic, a hunter with the nickname Ultimate Weapon. Zhang In also senses the noise and excitement coming from somewhere. He wants to talk to Jinwoo. But Jinwoo, seeing that he's busy, apologizes and leaves. No one expected the president to be ignored like that. Both Zhang In and Jin Chul didn't expect him to be so cold. President Beck has also just arrived. Zhang In understands everything now. Even though the White Tiger Guild's headquarters isn't close, Beck ran all the way here, breathing heavily, to get here quickly. This proves Jinwoo's value. Beck and Zhang In walk past each other. Beck sees Zhang In and has to admire him a little. Jinwoo goes to see his mother. He's very sad because he always believed his mother could wake up. He promises his mother that just a little longer, and she will wake up. Jin Chul has been waiting outside. Jinwoo doesn't care much about what Jin Chul says, but he also wants Jinwoo to meet someone. That someone is Go Gunhee. the president of the Hunters Association. The first thing he does is congratulate Jinwoo on being confirmed as an S rank, even though it needs to be reassessed. It doesn't really matter. The wait for the reassessment is just to buy time, in order to give the association the chance to approach talents like Jinwoo. In return, not many talented hunters are interested in joining the association. They're always attracted by the fame of the larger guilds. Director Jin Chul is a top hunter but still only an A rank. Gunhee really wants Jinwoo to stand side by side with his guild. And Jinwoo will definitely hold an important position here. The people who are supporting the country right now are not the government, but the hunters who protect the people from the monsters. And at the center of them are the 5 major guilds. Right now, the 5 giants are barely maintaining the balance. If Jinwoo joins any of the guilds, that balance will be severely disrupted. The Hunter Association is the 6th force to restrain them. It's something the country cannot do without. Therefore, Jinwoo's strength is needed to make that happen. Jinwoo also sees this proposal as not bad at all. Indeed, the wealth and power are enormous. Besides, President Go Gunhee is the first S rank awakened in the country. Even though he's over 80, he's still VIP status. Jinwoo thinks that if he accepts this offer, his life will turn a new page. But Jinwoo doesn't do that. He apologizes and straight out declines. Jinwoo says that he wants to fight. He believes that the dungeon is where he belongs. Gunhee realizes it's been a long time since he's felt like this. He wishes he were 10 years younger so he could stand side by side with this young man. He also respects Jinwoo's decision. Jinwoo asks permission to go home since his sister is alone at home. Today, President Go Gunhee is very pleased to have met Jinwoo. For Jinwoo, the dungeons managed by the association are only D or E rank. Meanwhile, he must level up as quickly as possible to cure his mother. Therefore, he cannot afford to stay in one place. Donso is currently bandaged from head to toe, lying bedridden in the hospital. The deputy director comes to ask about the situation. He asks if the man is a monster. Donso confirms that he is a monster. The management bureau is currently pursuing him, but they don't know if they can catch the one who defeated Donso. At that time, Jinwoo's father also gave a warning to that guy. Absolutely don't mess with my family. Don't think death will make you escape my sight. Donso was extremely angry, like he was eating spicy noodles at level 7. He wanted to create equipment strong enough to crush Jinwoo's father. Artifacts, also known as artificial items. In the hunter community, they are used to refer to high-grade equipment. With the large number of hunters, it's normal for them to be auctioned off. Jinwoo was also having a headache because they were so expensive. He wanted to be fully equipped to conquer the demon castle. He was thinking about transferring the greedy orb. The best equipment on the market only increases 20–30% power, but this orb doubles magic damage, so it will definitely be sold for a high price. But since he's still E rank, he's worried that selling it might draw attention and get investigated. After all, an E rank hunter can't possibly go on high-level raids. Suddenly, Jinwoo saw an ad looking for people. President Go Gunhee continued to review Jinwoo's background. Surprisingly, his history of suffering was truly terrifying. The fact that he single-handedly took care of his mother and sister. Truly, he's a rare filial young man in today's world. The report showed that Jinwoo had joined an excavation team. And indeed, Jinwoo joined the excavation team. It's known that large-scale dungeon raids are divided into specific roles. The attack team hunts the monsters. The excavation team extracts mana stones from the dungeon. Then there's the cleanup team to collect the bodies. Although it requires many personnel, the profits are huge. Jong-in was giving the monsters a beating with his fire magic. He had been sparing them to avoid turning the monster bodies into ashes, losing value. The attack team also finished their work and came out of the gate. Jinwoo didn't expect that no one was injured after going through Gate A. Indeed, Jong-in was no ordinary rank. The vice leader of the hunters also appeared. The 9th S rank hunter in the country. Dancer Cha Haein. Jinwoo also felt her intense presence. Haein also felt a powerful energy. She thought it was President Go coming for a visit. Then the excavation team entered the gate. Everyone started their tasks, gathering magic stones, and collecting the monster corpses that had been slain. Jinwoo sensed the power of the A rank gate boss, wanting to test his strength against it immediately. After that, Jinwoo also started working. Everyone here was wondering if he was really E rank. After a while, it was time for a break. Jinwoo still refused to take a rest. He was told not to go too deep inside. But Jinwoo had been waiting for this moment. He wanted to sneak a peek at what was inside. He had already found the room where the boss was located. Right now, he couldn't defeat it because that would affect the Hunters Guild. He just wanted to try his luck and test his strength against it. But unexpectedly, Heian noticed him. She asked him, "What the hell are you doing here?" He calmly lied, saying he got lost and ended up here. Heian wanted him to leave because this was the boss's room. Jinwoo acknowledged that indeed, the vice leader was different. He hadn't even noticed the sound of her footsteps. Heian thought she might have seen wrong because she had just seen him holding a weapon. She wanted Jinwoo to leave because if the boss got agitated, the entire excavation team would be in danger. The two of them passed by each other, and Heian immediately reacted. She ran up to sniff the scent on Jinwoo's body immediately. As expected, there was not a hint of any odor. She didn't think Jinwoo was a hunter. She looked at his nameplate and saw that he was E rank. Then she told him to be careful outside. She wondered if she had mistaken his low rank, as he didn't smell bad at all. On the contrary, he smelled really good. After that, Jinwoo shared this with the members of the excavation team. He learned that she always sacrificed her time there to keep the team safe from the boss. He also found out that she was very sensitive to the smell of other hunters. It seemed to be a special condition. She could always smell it even though she covered her nose with a handkerchief. Jinwoo now thought back and wondered if he didn't have the typical scent of a hunter. He remembered that Barca had said something similar before. Maybe it was because he was the player, the only one who benefits from the system. Jinwoo also received his payment after a day's work. Everyone agreed that with him, the job had been completed early. He was then invited to continue working with the team. Jinwoo politely declined, saying he was just working part-time. The team leader asked him to work one more day, because tomorrow, there would be 2 raids. A rank and C rank. Tomorrow, the second attack team would handle it. This was their strength. No other guild in the country could take on an A rank gate with 2 teams at once. Jinwoo agreed to work tomorrow. He was also given double the pay by the team leader. Heian, upon returning, wanted to investigate Jinwoo's hunter status. Her subordinates reported that the guild leader had also checked. But currently, Jinwoo's information was restricted. The guild had locked the information of a hunter who wasn't top tier. After Heian gathered all this information, she was sure that something was hidden here. She admitted that Jinwoo really smelled incredibly good. "I'm hooked. I want it." The next day started. Jinwoo looked at the excavation team and remembered the past. The whole team began with the C rank gate. Today, Jinwoo worked incredibly hard. Thanks to him, the entire team could rest until they reached the A rank gate in the afternoon. The team leader continued to ask him to join with 5 times the salary. Then, team leader Sun Ki-hoon arrived. He wanted to borrow someone from the excavation team. He needed someone to ensure the transport of the entire team. He would also pay extra danger pay for anyone who agreed to follow him. The excavation team leader said that someone with a low rank wouldn't be able to go into an A rank dungeon. Jinwoo immediately volunteered. Everyone urged him to reconsider because it was very dangerous there. They also hoped Sun Ki-hoon wouldn't mind since Jinwoo was new and didn't know much. After all, he was just an E rank. Sun Ki-hoon decided to pick Jinwoo. Then, both sides got acquainted with each other. Afterward, everyone was ready. The team consisted of 6 A rank hunters and 3 B rank hunters. Jinwoo didn't expect that the Hunters Guild had 2 attack teams like this. As they entered the gate, Jinwoo had a bad feeling. Just like when he had been trapped in a gate before. Sun Ki-hoon hoped this raid would be successful. Because if it was, he would officially become the team leader. Even though he wasn't like the guild leader or vice guild leader. At least, he was A rank. Then, everyone entered combat mode without anyone needing to give orders. The monsters appeared. They were dungeon wild dogs. These dogs were no match for Team 2. One by one, the team members quickly handled them with ease. After eliminating them, everyone found it strange, because forest dogs only appeared in C rank gates, not in A rank ones. Jinwoo noticed the collars on them. He suspected that someone had been training them as hunting dogs. Sure enough, Jinwoo's bad feeling turned out to be right. A pack of hire appeared. They immediately launched a hot and swift attack. Ki-hoon blocked the attack but his shield cracked. The massacre by the hire continued. The members of Team 2 fought hard to defend themselves. Their magic spells were ineffective. The female member summoned chains to trap them. The fire mage summoned fire soldiers to attack. But it still didn't work. One of the members got hit. The team's medic worked hard to heal the injuries. The enemy was too numerous. So Ki-hoon didn't want the team to be surrounded. 1B. Ranked member had his arm severed. His teammates rushed to support him. He was healed and restored. Just then, another hire arrived. Jinwoo then joined the fray. He used his invisibility magic to avoid being noticed. One hire was sent to meet its end. Jinwoo continued to silently assist Team 2 in eliminating the rest of the hire. Gradually, the hire's movements became noticeably different. It was none other than Jinwoo who was cutting them down one by one. As a result, the members of Team 2 unleashed their full strength. Everyone had a chance to shine with their unique abilities. Ki-hoon successfully took down the lead hire. The first combat ended with a victory for Team 2. The members began discussing the strange movements of the enemy. But anyway, a win is a win. So no one paid much attention to it anymore. The mage of the team discovered that Jinwoo was using invisibility magic. But since he had been saved, she didn't say anything. Ki-hoon seemed to think this mission was too dangerous. And they would need 2 more healers and 3 more mages to be fully prepared. This was Ki-hoon's first time being the team leader. So he was a bit disappointed. But he decided to choose the option to retreat. However, when they returned, the portal turned into a high-level barrier again, and a massive source of magical power rushed in, making the whole team shudder. The mages tried their best to break the barrier. But all 3 were caught in a curse trap. From behind, a formidable hire army appeared. There were about 50 of them. Roughly counted, Ki-hoon stepped forward to face them. And they said something. Then suddenly, the leader started speaking in human language. His name was Kargalgan, and he had long wanted to meet humans. He was the one who had blocked their retreat. He was a proud grand mage of the higher race. He presented them with a choice: either be killed, or go meet him. Ki-hoon decided to go meet him. They all left. Ki-hoon thought that if the boss appeared, the whole team would attack together. And at that moment, there would be an opening, and the barrier wouldn't hold. He hoped Jinwoo could escape and contact the main attack team. The whole team was determined to complete their mission, and they all hoped he would survive and leave. Jinwoo seemed to be in a situation similar to his in the 2-story dungeon. You also accepted to keep the will of everyone, but hoped that things wouldn't escalate to this level. Outside, Heian was coming to find Jinwoo, but it was known that he had already taken the luggage into the dungeon. Then the second team arrived at the hideout of the higher group. The boss had appeared on his throne. Heian couldn't understand why someone of E rank was carrying baggage at Gate A. She didn't know what Jinwoo was thinking back to the time when he stood with weapons in front of the boss's room. She decided that she would be the one to go inside to check. She also borrowed a weapon from the excavation team captain, so he lent her a pickaxe. Seeing that, she decided to go in unarmed, but then thought it might be better to have something than nothing. Inside, Jinwoo and Team 2 were being greeted very warmly. The boss sitting on his throne had 4 bodyguards. Ki-hoon decided he had to defeat the boss in this dungeon to complete the mission of closing the gate. He also took off his mask. The mages of Team 2 felt the boss's magical power, realizing compared to themselves, they were nothing. The reason he called everyone here was to entertain himself. He would kill and torment, devouring each one to amuse his soldiers. Ki-hoon didn't expect that the entire team's determination would only be for his amusement. To him, the lives of the whole team were like toys in his hands. Kargalgan sensed something unusual among these humans. Seeing this was quite fun. Ki-hoon also ordered the whole team to attack. But when he looked back, all the team members had already lost their will. Ki-hoon decided to proceed alone. The boss then used a defensive shield to block his attack, and then continued using anti-gravity magic and accelerated toward Ki-hoon. He was continuously bounced up and down like a ball, while the other members could only watch as their leader was tortured. But then Jinwoo started to intervene. He asked Ki-hoon for his opinion. because this was the dungeon of the Hunters Association. So he didn't have the authority to intervene. Right now the entire team was under attack. So Jinwoo wanted to ask him one question. One of the bodyguards was sent flying to the ceiling to experience the height. Jinwoo asked permission to deal with all the monsters here. Ki-hoon placed all his trust in Jinwoo. The boss continued to release his powerful aura. Jinwoo thought it was a shame because he was about to face the most difficult opponent. The Dark Legion was also being summoned. Jin Chul also arrived, not understanding why he had chosen to work as a laborer here. The excavation team leader also explained that Jinwoo had entered through the gate to do the carrying work. Jin Chul was surprised, thinking that after leveling up to rank S, all actions should be monitored. Yet, Jin Chul informed everyone that everything would be clarified the next morning. He also found out that Vice Captain Heian had also entered there. An unusual aura was emanating from the gate. Inside, Heian discovered the bodies of the higher monsters. Not understanding how Team 2 could have dealt with them, she thought the strength earlier must have come from the boss. So if they didn't move quickly, the whole team would be wiped out. Kargalgan thought that with these weak soldiers, there was no way to defeat his army. He truly thought Jinwoo was too shallow. But Jinwoo immediately showed him his shallowness. He activated a special skill he received from the 70th floor of the Demon Castle. All the Dark Legion soldiers became stronger after surpassing the Demon Castle. Now the second team members were shocked by Jinwoo's power. And the battle began with Iron's Lion's Roar. Then Iron continued to easily deal with a group of monsters using just one axe throw. Next, Igris also effortlessly handled a group with a single sword swing. Jinwoo began his massacre, continuously dealing with piles of monsters as easily as eating candy. Team 2 could only watch in disbelief, not expecting a laborer could be so powerful. Currently, B rank soldiers had to be resurrected 4 or 5 times to take down a single high ore. Jinwoo intended to reduce their numbers. The boss also began using a fire dragon attack. Seeing Jinwoo's soldiers as nothing more than scarecrows, Jinwoo immediately resurrected all of them, telling him not to underestimate others. Fen, the boss, continued attacking him, repeatedly casting summon magic. Jinwoo had to dodge his attacks continuously. The boss wanted to destroy everything until Jinwoo's magical power ran out. Continuing to summon a fierce fire, Team 2 also made a strong effort to retreat from the battle. Jinwoo realized he was trying to use long-range magic to prevent him from getting close. Outside, the overseers concluded that the A rank gate was extremely close to S rank. Jin Chul wanted to immediately inform the Hunters Association president about this. Jinwoo's mana was depleting rapidly. Kargalgan thought that it was only a matter of time before Jinwoo couldn't hold out anymore. Then Jinwoo immediately took out an item to use. It was time to show the true power of the necromancer. He then raised Kargalgan's soldiers, confirming that soon Kargalgan and his army would become like this. Many thoughts began to rise in the boss's mind. When he regained consciousness, he received a single command: hunt humans. So now, all he had to do was follow this order. He also ordered his 3 bodyguards to advance. Jong-in had a clear understanding of the situation, immediately wanting to mobilize all his forces to deal with the matter. An urgent summon was sent to A rank hunters and above. In the worst case scenario, Jong-in thought they would need to ask the White Tiger and Death Guilds for backup. But he was determined not to let that happen. The battle was still raging fiercely. Both sides continued to fight tooth and nail. Just like how bun dough must have shrimp paste, or bread must have pate. One by one, Jinwoo's bodyguards were proving themselves more capable. Team 2 was planning to assist, but Kargalgan told them that if they were just spectators, they shouldn't even think about stepping onto the stage. He didn't want Jinwoo to use his verbal skills anymore. He summoned 3 magic spells at once, but Jinwoo apologized, saying he was immune to poison and curses. Then the 3 mages appeared. Jinwoo added a greedy ball of magic to the mix. His protective shield was shattered. As a result, his mask was also broken. Blood rushed to his head after this situation. Heian arrived and had no idea what the hell had happened. She went to ask Team 2 about it. Team 2 also didn't understand what was going on in this battle. This time, the boss played his final move. Just like how people used to watch superheroes on TV. He transformed into a giant to prepare to end it all. Haha. Unfortunately for him, Jinwoo really didn't like giants. He hit the exact weak spot of mine. Fen, the boss, continued to breathe fire to stoke the furnace. This time, he summoned many more fiery mines all at once. The boss wanted to destroy everything, including his own army. Jinwoo continued to emerge from the smoke, striking straight at his eye. It seemed that the bigger he got, the easier it was to attack him. A mage without bodyguards couldn't resist an assassin's surprise attack. Kargalgan continued using his fierce fire spell. Jinwoo continued to expertly dodge the attacks, then threw both of his daggers at him. It seemed the short swords couldn't take him down, so he pulled out a chain, tying him up, then tried to chain him and pull him down to the ground with force. Jin Chul had witnessed everything, and had met Team 2 and Heian. Heian continued asking about Jinwoo's system. Jin Chul felt that he only knew a little. The 3 bodyguards of the boss were also summoned, because once a mage loses their bodyguards, they are essentially useless. Then Kargalgan decided to box with his shadow bodyguards. But a mage doesn't win in a fist fight, only loses. And then he officially set off on his journey to meet his ancestors. Jinwoo decided to extract his darkness, and so Kargalgan officially became his subordinate. This subordinate was obedient and even asked Jinwoo to give him a new name. From now on, Fang would be his name. Fang belonged to the elite knight class. Indeed, the A rank boss was different. Gaining the higher legion was a nice bonus. Everyone started to gather. Jinwoo, too focused on his own battle, hadn't noticed everyone else. Jin Chul appeared from the Hunters Association's surveillance room. Matters related to Jinwoo were classified as top secret, so he didn't want anyone to talk about it outside. He confirmed that Jinwoo had displayed S rank power to save everyone. Ki-hoon also thanked Jinwoo afterward, whether by coincidence or not. With him, the whole team had been able to stay alive. The entire team sincerely thanked Jinwoo. Jinwoo also returned the will to the mage. Then, he left with the surveillance officer. Zhongyan later learned everything. It seemed that, like the White Tiger Guild, his own guild also owed Jinwoo. He asked Ki-hoon who was stronger between him and Jinwoo. Ki-hoon knew that an attack required many factors to succeed. He countered by asking if the guild leader could conquer a standard, extremely difficult A rank dungeon alone. Zhongyan felt he couldn't. At the moment, the Hunters Guild really wanted Jinwoo to join them. The next day, Jinwoo went for coffee with his subordinate, Jinho. He also wanted to talk to his older brother about his father's condition. Everyone and the reporters were gathered excitedly outside the Hunters Association. White Tiger Guild's leader Beck and the Hunters Guild's leader Zhongyan had arrived. A reporter asked if both were here to recruit Lee Minsung. Zhongyan replied that Lee Minsung had joined the Death Guild, and that they were not here because of him. Hearing this, all the reporters immediately dispersed. They both went inside afterward. On the way, they exchanged a few jabs for fun. Both were still determined to recruit Jinwoo into their guild. I'm first. Hey, number. I'm first. Neither side was willing to back down. The Death Guild's leader arrived. He didn't expect that both were targeting Minsung. The two immediately agreed on their next move. They both said, "Didn't I tell you there's no Minsung or Minkin here? Stop talking about it." Jinwoo also arrived to verify things, unsure of what all the fuss was about in front of him. Minsung's interview was drawing attention from everyone. The young man was boasting to hype himself up. He also promised to fight under the flag of the Death Guild led by Lim Tae-gyu. Since he was an actor, people were curious about his decision to quit the profession. In fact, the young man had signed a 2-year contract with the Death Guild, during which he would work as a hunter. After that, he would return to the entertainment industry with his achievements as an A rank. The young man continued to speak, though he still didn't know what rank he was. Jinwoo arrived and was stopped because the interview was still ongoing. Chairman Gunhee also stepped forward. He said that Jinwoo was his guest. He reminded them that he had already told them not to open the interview. Yet, the young man, Minsung, froze up in embarrassment. He then intended to ask about this again. Jin Chul informed him that someone was conducting an evaluation, so no unauthorized entry was allowed. Minsung tried to use his fame to intimidate, but that's a bad move. Kid, this act of intimidation isn't very classy. Beck and Zhongyan were waiting inside. They proceeded in. The first thing to be checked was the hunter's abilities. Jinwoo summoned a shadow first. The evaluation staff identified it as a summoning magic. The chairman had already heard a report from Jin Chul, so he wondered what Jinwoo could do with just this. Jinwoo figured it was all out in the open, so he decided to go all out. He summoned all of his shadow army and mentioned he could call upon about 100 more. Beck and Jong-in were now wide-eyed in shock at his power. Then, the evaluation process concluded. Jinwoo was assigned a new rank. The first thing he wanted to do was sell the greed orb. Using the money to improve his gear, he was determined to conquer the demon castle. Chairman Gunhee congratulated him once again. He was excited to see what Jinwoo would achieve with this new rank. Beck and Jong-in were waiting for him. Both Beck and Jong-in were eager to thank Jinwoo for the previous incident. But, as always, Jinwoo apologized and left because he was busy. Unexpectedly, without paying attention, Jinwoo had stepped out the door. On the other side, Sung Jin had spotted Jinwoo's brother, Gina. The news quickly spread to everyone. Jinwoo was officially announced to the public as the 10th S rank hunter. Everyone was stunned by this revelation. Min Sung's press conference also dissolved into thin air. Jinho reported that he had failed in recruiting his older brother, because Jinwoo's goal was to fight alone and achieve it on his own. He didn't want to be held back by anyone. Jinwoo even asked Jinho to follow him. Jinho's father was currently disappointed in him, because at first, he took on everything, but now he had abandoned it for another place. Despite this, Jinho decided to follow his older brother. His father wanted him to clarify his position. Beck and Jong-in wanted to help Jinwoo return home before the reporters. But Jinwoo didn't need that. He instantly used his teleportation and disappeared. Beck and Jong-in couldn't believe it. Beck could clearly sense that Jinwoo was stronger than before. Jinwoo went to find some equipment for himself. The first thing he sought was gear that could resist fire, as he wanted protection from the heat inside the demon castle. The merchant introduced him to a cloak and ring that provided resistance. But the price was a bit too much for Jinwoo's current funds. The merchant said the prices were quite fair. But on the other hand, anyone who could break the glass case would get the items inside for free. The shopkeeper was very confident about the security of the glass case. Jinwoo took a deep breath after hearing that. He was about to try to break the glass, but was stopped. The merchant was just joking for fun. Then Jinwoo decided to check out some weapons. The glass case had cracked a little. Even though Jinwoo hadn't touched it yet, he continued to examine a sword, and then took out his kasaka, a unique dagger, to check its price. The merchant valued it at 100 million. Jinwoo was surprised because the item he bought for 2.8 million gold was now worth that much. He thought that selling the gluttony orb would be enough for now. Beck started to ponder about Jinwoo's situation. He still couldn't understand why Jinwoo was getting stronger every day. He wondered if Jinwoo might be a hunter who could continuously grow in strength. Since his older brother became famous, Gina had been disturbed by many people. Gina continued to complain about the situation. Jinwoo announced that he would be gone for about a week. Jinho, Jinwoo's loyal younger brother, arrived. He introduced himself as Jinwoo's underling to Gina. Jinwoo took the opportunity to use Jinho as a cover, saying he would be going on a business trip with his brother for a week. Jinho had no idea about this plan, but he was forced to go along with the story. That evening, Jinwoo went to his sister's room. Even though he knew the media had left, he was still worried about her safety. He summoned the guards from Nan to protect her. Upon reflection, he realized there should have been 4 guards, but only 3 remained. He figured the 3 he had were enough for now. He decided to leave them behind to guard his sister, while also setting up security around his residence. He sent a few soldiers to patrol the area. In the sky, there was a flying monster. Early in the morning, Jinwoo and his younger brother, Jinho, set off. The two of them talked about keeping Gina in the dark. Jinho didn't expect that his older brother wanted to get even stronger. The two of them parted ways. Jinwoo wore his cloak and ring of equipment. The item seemed perfect for withstanding the heat. This mission was to collect the souls of Demon 2 and the Demon King Baron. The reward was the ancient stone that could exchange shadows. Jinwoo thought the reward was even better than the last one. He immediately set off for floor 76. Back at Gino's house, Gino's parents were talking when suddenly, His father collapsed and fainted. Jinwoo began his battle. He summoned Nan and the Gluttony Orb. Another intense fight with two giants followed. Nan's fireball was enhanced. The boss of this floor was blown away, leaving only his 2 feet. Jinwoo realized he had to hold back, but still kept Nan's orb going. Gino's father regained consciousness in the hospital. He was diagnosed with a condition called Nich Tui, exhaustion disorder. This condition caused excessive sleepiness, making it difficult to wake up. It only occurred in people with poor magical resistance or who had been exposed to magical powers for a long time. The doctor asked if anyone in the family was a hunter, but they couldn't confirm if this was the cause yet. Gino's father now felt like a victim of the world's natural selection. 2 hunters were on patrol when they suddenly encountered a flying ant monster. Jinwoo was right to split his forces into 6 teams for a more efficient tower climb. The mission was to eliminate all enemies in sight as they reached each level. They would notify once they found the way to the next floor. This strategy sacrificed some resources but greatly increased their speed in conquering the tower. Jinwoo was now on floor 80, but his speed had decreased. Suddenly, something began quickly wiping out the members of Team A. Jinwoo started investigating the situation. Team B had also been wiped out. I don't understand why the Fang team is close to Team A but hasn't been harmed. Could it be that the enemy has the intelligence to assess their power? Jinwoo also guessed that the next target would be Tank's team. Sure enough, Tank's team is getting overwhelmed. Jinwoo has arrived at the location. He was immediately attacked, but he easily retaliated. He had always wondered why monsters didn't seem to fear anything. But now, he has the answer. Jinwoo was about to finish off the enemy quickly. But unexpectedly, the enemy surrendered. She asked him to spare her life. After hearing her voice, he removed his cracked mask. It was a half-demon girl asking to surrender because she had lost. Jinwoo didn't understand the reason for this. She explained that the knight's duty was to protect their master. So, even though her teammates were dying, they would die satisfied. Upon hearing this, Jinwoo didn't push further with her. She saw this as an opportunity to kill him. But she was stopped by his Fang's minions. She continued to bow her head, begging for her life and offering everything she had. Jinwoo wanted permission to go to the upper floor. She told him that if it was him, her family was keeping that permission. She made a condition that if she and her family were safe, Jinwoo would get the permission. He still didn't know if he could trust her. He activated his threatening mode, making her immediately frightened. She insisted that she wasn't lying. Jinwoo accepted the condition, as long as he got the permission. He also wanted to ask her what it was. On some island, an attack was taking place, and the monsters causing it were the ant monsters. Meanwhile, she introduced herself as Essel, the eldest daughter of the Ryoubo family. Jinwoo asked if everyone in the group heard the continuous voice saying they must kill humans. The one who spoke said they heard a different command. That command was to protect the place they were in. It all started from the moment they arrived here. Jinwoo continued to extract information. Before, Essel was in the demon world. Then, one day, without realizing it, they found themselves here. He continued to ask what Essel was doing in the demon world. At that moment, suddenly, there was a strange reaction. It was said that everyone was preparing for war. The war against an enemy so powerful that all demons had to be gathered. The war was about to break out. Since the amount of information exceeded what was allowed, the conversation would be cut off. And then, after finishing those words, the one speaking fainted. Jinwoo thought there was no more information to be extracted. The incident caused by the winged ants had been recorded. The Hunter Association held an emergency meeting regarding this issue. The number of civilian casualties on the island outside Japan was 294 people. 108 hunters were dispatched. The casualties included 4 in rank E, 1 in rank C, and 1 in rank B. Chairman Gunhee never expected that just one creature could cause such damage. Only one A rank hunter came and successfully eliminated it. This meant that the ant belonged to A rank. The island affected this time was 120 kilometers away from Jeju Island. If they have evolved, the southernmost part of the continent will also fall within their landing range. Chairman Gunhee made an immediate request for support from Japan. Along with that, he notified neighboring countries to raise their level of alert. And from now on, in his capacity as chairman of the Hunter Association, He officially launched the plan to invade Jeju Island for the 4th time. Essel had woken up, not knowing why she had lost consciousness. Both of them were also close to reaching the castle where the Ryoubo tribe lived. Essel stated that the permit was kept there. Then, Jinwoo entered and met Essel's father. He saw that inside Jinwoo was a legion of shadow soldiers. He thought that Jinwoo was deceiving his daughter to seize the castle. Jinwoo explained his agreement with Essel. It seemed that Essel's father had no chance of winning against someone like Jinwoo. So, he reluctantly agreed to bring the permit up to the floor for him. Unexpectedly, Jinwoo wanted to borrow Essel. He wanted to borrow her to guide him. He also guaranteed her safety. Essel's father accepted. The corpse of the ant monster was being dissected and analyzed. Jinwoo had already completed up to floor 89. Igris and Tank were also promoted and had their ranks increased. Their combat power had reached S and A ranks. Essel brought many items to negotiate with the floors but didn't get to use them. It was said that from floor 90 onward, it would be managed by higher ranked tribes. So, negotiating for a permit would be safer. Jinwoo asked in return, if he were weaker, would they still negotiate? He was sure that the demon nobles would also fight for status. So, he would help the Ryoubo tribe rise to the top rank. Essel didn't understand why he spared the Ryoubo tribe. Jinwoo explained that it was because he cared about her. He then advised her to go home. He didn't want to break his promise to her father. He also recognized that she had worked hard enough. But Essel was determined to follow him to the end. She wanted to witness how Jinwoo would achieve what he desired. So, she was allowed to accompany him. Indeed, from floor 90 onward, the difficulty increased noticeably. The number of monsters and their strength also rose exponentially. But with the knowledge, with his experience and skills, he was able to progressively overcome each floor. He decided that he must obtain the materials to craft the holy water of life. The president and vice president of the Hunters Guild had received orders to join the 4th invasion of Jeju Island. Along with them were the White Tiger Guild and all the S-rank hunters of the country. This time, everyone would cooperate with neighboring countries for the mission. This was especially necessary since Japan was within the ants' flying range. Although the exact time had not been determined, it was going to happen soon. Hunters from a massive guild were also on their way to discuss the operation. Jinwoo had reached the 100th floor of the castle. Immediately, both of them were greeted. A monster dragon appeared, and the rider on it was the king of demons. None other than Baron. The demon king's aura was terrifying. Essel was extremely frightened by this presence. Indeed, as expected of the demon king, he immediately summoned his subordinates. All of them were top-tier monsters, and their numbers were enormous. They immediately launched an attack. Jinwoo quickly summoned his entire army to counter. A battle between the two sides began immediately. Nan used fire magic to clear the enemies. Baron then shot a burst of energy into the sky from his mouth. A big bang explosion was triggered from above. Essel thought she was finished. But Jinwoo managed to block the attack in time, saving her. He knew that those lightning bolts were a wide-area attack with stunning effects. Although the army could regenerate, they would certainly run out of mana if this continued. Jinwoo decided to take the initiative. He immediately used his flying skill and headed straight for Baron. But even though he hid himself, Baron still saw through him. He was thrown straight to the ground, almost knocked out. Then, he continued to use a lightning trace to track you. Seeing that he was about to dodge but couldn't in time, he called for Nan and Igris for backup. Nan exerted all his strength, accumulating power from the greedy orb to attack. Then, Igris dealt a swift blow, taking down Baron's beloved dragon mount. Finally, both sides met face on the ground. The meeting at the Hunters Guild continued as planned. This time, the Sword Drawing Guild also participated. Goto Ryuji is the president of the guild. Hanakawa will serve as the interpreter. The Sword Drawing Guild is a massive guild in Japan. They own as many as 10 S-rank hunters. With this scale, they are considered the second largest guild in Asia. First, President Ryuji sincerely thanked both sides for agreeing to cooperate in battle. President Gunhee also thanked Ryuji for accepting his request. The results of the dissection of the ant specimen have yielded many findings. Currently, there are two crucial points that will affect the plan. The first is their lifespan. Although they mature quickly after hatching, They only live for 1 year. In other words, when the queen ant is destroyed, the remnants will clean up after themselves in 1 year. The second point is the operating model of the ants. They are usually attracted to places with strong magical power. Therefore, all plans will be based on this behavior to strategize the attack. This time, 10 hunters from the sword-drawing guild, including their president, will participate. All will serve as bait for the ants. The goal is for President Gunhee's team to eliminate the queen ant. In the artificial simulation, this method will yield the highest success rate. It seems that President Gunhee is unable to deploy 10s rank hunters on his side. He also agrees with this direction of the battle strategy. The battle inside the demon castle was still very intense. Jinwoo didn't even have time to use a mana recovery potion. Baron was continuously beating up Jinwoo's generals. None of them were a match for him. Even Jinwoo was caught off guard. He was then hit on the head with a mushroom. Knocked out. Baron was about to finish him off. But immediately, Jinwoo's generals coordinated and turned the tables. However, Baron was still no easy opponent. He immediately countered all of their attacks. Jinwoo had run out of mana. This time, Baron summoned 2 swords to continue the fight with Jinwoo. A heavy downpour also started to fall. Now, both of them began to fight in a 1-on-1 duel. Both were fighting with all their might. They continuously exchanged blows, neither side giving an inch. It was truly a high-level battle between the future Dark Emperor and the Demon King. For a moment, Baron gained the upper hand. Jinwoo's sword had also fallen from his hand. He then took a full hit from Baron's attack. Jinwoo struggled to hold on with his bare hands. Baron continued to try and shoot energy blasts at him. Jinwoo thought he was done for. But unexpectedly, Essel threw a weapon at Baron. That caused Baron to lose focus. Jinwoo immediately took advantage of the moment and used his ruler's strength to counterattack. With all his might, he used his accumulated points to sever both of Baron's arms. Then, he landed a finishing blow. A hook punch straight to Baron's head. Baron's head flew off, disappearing into the air. The resulting explosion was enormous. Filling the sky, the Demon King Baron was officially defeated. Jinwoo's mission was officially completed. He had successfully conquered the demon castle. Jinwoo wanted Essel to go back and inform her father that the Radish clan was now ranked first. Not Radish, it's actually Radiru. Then, the blood of the demon emperor, which had been purified, appeared. It was the final material that Jinwoo was looking for. The success rate depended on his intelligence points. So, he decided to create it right away. He nervously waited. What number would come out? What number would it be? Would it be heads or tails then? The heavens did not disappoint Jinwoo. The holy life water was successfully created. He wasn't sure if it would be able to cure his mother's illness. Though, iron unexpectedly brought back the corpse of Baron's dragon mount. Jinwoo immediately rose after that. He successfully got a new, powerful subordinate. Its name was Kaisel. Essel wanted to ask him to take her home so she could host a banquet with her father. Jinwoo was preoccupied with other matters. He took out the ancient stone from the reward he just received. Then he used it. It granted him a new skill, Shadow Exchange. He then apologized to Essel for having to go home alone. The banquet at the Radish castle would be postponed for now. He said goodbye to her. Jinwoo swapped shadows with one of his soldiers. It was the shadow he had sent to patrol the real world. Then he summoned Kaisel to quickly take him away. President Go was discussing a battle plan against the ants with Jinchul. Meanwhile, a retreat plan was being considered in case the electromagnetic method didn't work. He wanted the guild to prepare thoroughly and send the hunters off. He also asked if they had been able to contact Jinwoo. Of course, it wasn't certain yet. Beck was out drinking with Byung Ji-yu. Byung Ji-yu was one of the few S-rank hunters who retired early. Even though he wasn't seriously injured, the two had once been teammates, side by side in battle. As expected, after all this time, he hadn't changed. He was still a weird and humorous guy. Byung Ji-yu asked if Beck was really going. He mentioned the death of Yunsok. Hearing this, Beck felt even more determined to go. Because if the ants kept causing chaos, the country would end up in ruin. Since he had to go anyway, he decided to say some impressive words. These were the words Yunsok had said before. Beck was here not to persuade, but to say goodbye to Byung Ji-yu, Who knew if they would ever get the chance to meet again? Byung Ji-yu said he was preparing to take the civil service exam. He had decided to return to being an ordinary citizen rather than deal with all the flashy things. The two continued talking and drinking together, having a great time. Jin-woo had arrived at the hospital with his mother. He looked at the burn scars and remembered the memories from his childhood. It was because of him that his mother got burned. Then he took out the holy life water. Having witnessed many miracles created by the system, he decided to give it a try. He tried giving it to his mother. His mother was able to drink a bit of the holy water. As expected, it had an immediate effect. The burn marks disappeared instantly. Her body no longer looked pale and emaciated. Jin-woo could only pray, hoping his mother would open her eyes. This was the reason he had fought and become strong all this time. Gina was also feeling unstable today. She felt that the wind today was unusually warm. The wind was also blowing into both of their hospital rooms. As expected, she had regained consciousness. Jin-woo was deeply moved by this sight. His mother asked how long she had been asleep. He told her it had been 4 years. Then she asked about Gina. He reassured her that his sister was doing well. She thanked her son for keeping his promise. She could truly feel how much her son had grown. She could clearly sense what her son had endured all this time. Jin-woo also cried tears of happiness after such a long time. The next day, the doctors couldn't believe that the critically ill patient had woken up. The patient was now free of any other issues. Gina was also extremely emotional when her mother woke up. She cried like a waterfall because it had been so long since she could experience this moment. Jin-woo believed that persistence had finally paid off. After the storm, the sky cleared up. Good deeds are rewarded. President Go began to announce the fourth assault on Jeju Island to the media. This operation would have reinforcements from Japan. A. Rank and lower hunters would be responsible for maritime defense and protecting the land. They would support the combat teams and ensure the safety of the civilians. He confirmed that this time, everything would be successful and the mission would be completed. Jin-woo's mother was discharged from the hospital and returned home. But when they got home, the sight of Gina's mess was waiting for them. His mother hoped that the three of them could work together after 4 years. So, the three of them happily cleaned up together. Jin-woo still had a lingering concern in his heart. Because he was a hunter and had entered a forbidden domain. Jin-woo's mother suddenly asked if his father had contacted either of them. She also knew that her son was now a hunter. Before becoming a hunter, his father had been a firefighter. That image was truly cool. Which was why his mother had fallen in love with him and married him. She was sure her son had inherited that same bloodline. Gina was also determined to become a doctor to make her mother happy. Jin-woo had received a phone call. The press conference had just ended. President Go hadn't expected to be approached so soon. Thomas Andre, an S-rank hunter from the US, was here. Jin Chul had a faint glimmer of hope. Thomas Andre was recognized as having the strength comparable to that of a country's military forces. The president thought that he wouldn't casually interfere with other countries' affairs. Thomas Andre was just passing by on his way to a vacation or perhaps here to warn about Hunter Wang Donso. Or maybe he was here to confirm something else. Jin-woo was also on his way there after Jin Chul contacted him. In 4 days, the assault mission would begin. President Go hoped that Jin-woo would join because it was his greatest wish. Jin-woo saw it as a great opportunity to level up. But that was his thought from before. Just as he was about to reply, he suddenly sensed a huge magical power. President Go didn't expect that Jin-woo could also sense it. He said it was because the S-rank hunters were warming up in the training room. He also wanted to invite Jin-woo to come and see for himself. Beck had just been knocked down. It was Master Ma who had trained Beck. Jong-in had arrived. He knew that Beck hadn't been serious in the fight earlier. Master Ma was a member of the Star Guild. His full name was Ma Dongwick. When Beck fought, he would turn into a monster. There were also members of the Night Order nearby. Then, the Sword Drawers Guild arrived. All of them were S-rank hunters from Japan. Along with them was the guild leader, Goto Ryuji. The members of the Sword Drawers Guild also paid attention to Jin-woo. The leader of the Death Guild and Heian were also present here. The Sword Drawers Guild was somewhat disappointed by the leaders of the other country. Hanakawa thought that seeing their guild leader fight made the others seem nothing like Rank hunters. Park Jong-soo, the guild leader of the Night Order, had also been listening to these comments. Hanakawa didn't know his name before. The assistant informed that the guild leader was A rank, not S rank, but anyway, he was still one of the 5 major guilds in that country. Seeing so many people gathered, guild leader Goto Ryuji suddenly suggested organizing a friendly match, but it would only be between S rank hunters. He left all the details for this side to decide. President Go also agreed. However, he thought that magic-based fights were hard to determine a clear winner, so he didn't participate. Beck also set the rules for everyone afterward. The format would be a team match, not a one-on-one fight. This was because the battlefield would definitely become chaotic. Guild leader Goto Ryuji agreed to this rule. So, the first round was determined with 4 members on each side. The friendly match began. Jinwoo didn't expect that Goto Ryuji wouldn't participate. He also took this opportunity to watch how the S rank hunters fought. Master Ma enhanced his body beforehand. Both sides were ready to fight fiercely. Then, the matchups were determined. The battle between the 2 sides began. The members immediately rushed into fight. Ma Dongwook engaged in a hand-to-hand combat with his opponent. Guild leader Tae Gyu faced an opponent skilled in close combat. This was not very advantageous for Tae Gyu because his specialty was long-range attacks. The foundation was reinforced with high-grade magic stones. However, President Go thought it might be necessary to reassess the durability of it. Beck began to transform. His opponent could only dodge his attacks. Visibly frightened by the one-on-one battle, Beck seemed to be testing the resolve of their side to see if they were ready to fight the monsters. Beck continued to transform further. The opponent kept running and dodging Beck's blows. The leader of the Night Order seemed to have realized he was no match for the monsters below. Guild leader Ma Dongwook had lost to his opponent. He was even slammed deep into the ground. Guild leader Tae Gyu shared the same fate. Beck was forced to face 2 more people. On the other side, Heian was relentlessly attacking her opponent. After a series of dance-like moves, Heian won the battle. She immediately ran to support guild leader Beck, but another hunter from their side tried to attack stealthily. Heian immediately reflexively slapped him down. She thought she had overreacted with the slap. Kumamoto, furious after being beaten, was losing control. Hanakawa asked her guild leader if they should stop this, but Goto Ryuji said they should only stop if someone was about to be seriously injured. The battle continued. Kumamoto was getting even more enraged. Suddenly, Jinwoo appeared to intervene in the fight. It seemed like this had gone beyond a simple friendly match. Kumamoto was easily subdued by Jinwoo. Even though he was in a rage, Goto Ryuji realized that Jinwoo was not a magic-based user. He also wants to verify this himself. Jinwoo wants Heian to stop. Just consider that we have lost. Beck has just been defeated. Hanakawa came to say that President Goto wants to invite him for a drink. Oh, Oni is mistaken. Let's have a little strength test with each other. Jinwoo has also felt the presence of President Goto. It seems this is also a good opportunity for me to test the strength I've honed in the Demon Castle. Hanakawa came to let him know that Jinwoo agreed. But in exchange, he has one condition. If we drink 2 cases in one go, then I'll continue. Oh, Oni is wrong again. If I use all my strength, then I'll continue. Hehe. Goto seems really interesting. News about the 4th raid was also widely published across all media. After seeing the news, Juhi also contacted to ask about the defense team for the raid. Jinwoo, on this side, is also preparing for the fight. The guild leaders all want to see what the 10th ranked S-ranked hunter of the country is capable of. Beck guesses that Jinwoo is the one who awakened with the potential to develop. Before they could even start, Goto attacked first, but Jinwoo easily dodged the attack. Goto looks at the speed and movement. And how can this be magic? Based, he decided he had to unmask him. Jinwoo also admits that Goto is indeed at a higher level than other S-rank hunters, but it's not to the extent that I can't dodge his attacks. Everyone watching admits that they didn't even see the attacks coming. Ma Dongwook thinks that just dodging those attacks is impressive enough. Heian knows that Jinwoo is still testing his opponent. Dodging these attacks has already made President Goto angry and frustrated. He decided that he would seriously crush him. Jinwoo got hit in the face. When the attack came, he had already grabbed Goto's hand. It seemed that I almost lost an eye. Although I didn't understand what Goto said. Seeing him hold his wrist like that meant the fight was over. Both of them looked at each other and understood that neither side wanted the fight to end like this. Then, both released their immense pressure from their bodies. Everyone watching thought that if this continued, it would surely end badly. Just as he was about to pounce to grab a piece of food, both of them were stopped. The people from both sides arrived and intervened to separate them. Because continuing like this, neither side would take responsibility for what happened. The official match was concluded. Master Ma Dongwook praised Jinwoo briefly. He also realized that he had gotten too carried away. On the other hand, he now had a clear understanding of everyone's strength here. He had also managed to merge his soldiers into the shadows of these 5 people. After that, President Go saw off Chairman Goto. The information about the participants in the raid would be shared later with both sides. Jinwoo also came to talk about the raid. Chairman Goto, on his way back, reported that there was a very skilled hunter on this side. It was none other than Sung Jinwoo. Vice President Ryoubo, upon drawing his sword, found it strange, because Jinwoo's name was not on the list of those participating in the raid. The Hunter Guild also thought that Jinwoo's absence from the raid must have been for some personal reason. Of course, Byung-gu's name was also not on the list. The total number of S-rank hunters from South Korea was 15. Baek and Jong-in were sure that they would win this time. When Jinwoo returned home, his mother and younger sibling had already prepared dinner. He thought that since his mother had just woken up after 4 years, he needed to stay by her side. So he decided not to participate in the raid. On Jeju Island, the ants had exhausted their food supply and were now eating each other to survive. The queen ant saw that if this situation continued, things would not end well. She had no choice but to leave the island. And she needed a strong child to lead the entire ant kingdom. Then, the ant eggs hatched. Immediately, its body was transformed. The one who was born was none other than the ant king. A massive source of power was instantly emitted. The news that the evolved ants could fly was also widely announced. Juhee also found Song. Sung Jin was furious because he wasn't allowed to participate in the defense team. Jinho, seeing the E rank, complained about the situation. Tomorrow, the 4th raid would begin. Early in the morning, the fleets began to approach the island. They had surrounded the entire Jeju Island. The hunters participating in the defense team were those assigned to prevent any unforeseen incidents. The Knights Guild was in charge of it. Guild Master Ma Dongwook handed over his guild to the vice guild leader. She wished her guild master a safe journey. Meanwhile, the Death Guild, with the young man Minsung, was trying to make a name for itself. Everything was ready. Everything had been prepared. Suddenly, at the last minute, Byung-ji-yu changed his mind. Baek didn't expect this. Byung-ji-yu, it seemed, didn't have a healer like me. So Baek was likely to leave early. Both of them playfully teased each other. The Sword Guild was also ready when they boarded the island. All positions were completed. This raid would be broadcasted live. However, it would be delayed by 10 minutes to prevent any issues. The communication team was determined to deliver the battle in its entirety to the public. All the guild masters were confident that this time they would succeed. Because if they failed, their entire country might disappear from the map. Chairman Go announced that the official assault has begun. The decoy team has also started operations. The ants are beginning to emerge from their nests. Jong-in wants to deal with the flying ants. Immediately after, they were all burned. Due to the overwhelming numbers, Jong-in continues to attack more fiercely. He is very happy because he has finally made it here once again. Then, the time to land came. The Japanese Sword Guild will hold off the ants for an hour. The Korean hunters will be tasked with exterminating the Ant Queen. Everyone sets off. The interference waves have also been activated. This will prevent the ants from receiving the Queen's distress signal. The hunters from the Sword Guild are working hard to eliminate the small red ants. They find this task very easy. They quickly eliminate the ants as if they are just on a leisurely sightseeing tour. Jong-in has also sealed the ant colony's entrance with his magic. After that, he immediately attacks all the tunnels inside. This method will help him find the Queen's location sooner. He has identified the deepest nest that needs to be reached. Jinwoo just finished his daily tasks. He thinks this assault will be easy for all the S-rank hunters. So, it should be fine even if he doesn't join. The Korean hunter team has gone deeper inside. Jong-in has discovered the Ant Queen's egg chamber. Haein discovered an enormous eggshell. Indeed, the mysterious evolution of the ants is hard to explain. One person from the Sword Guild was injured in the shoulder. Shimizu had a quick chat and was about to treat him when the ants attacked. But before he could do anything, the victim was carried away far, never to return. Something lightly touched the victim's head. Something is coming. It moves incredibly fast. Then, Kenzo's head was lightly tapped, costing him 300k. The remaining members planned to catch up and take care of it. But in exchange, they shared the same fate as their two teammates. Inside the ant nest, the battle against the white ants is taking place. Dungwick sees that they are strong, but they are still just monsters. So, to the hunters, they are still their prey. Haein has also eliminated one. After a while, all of them were taken care of. Byung Ji-yu promised to always stay behind to support everyone. Baek and Byung Ji-yu continued to tease each other a little. The group realizes that these ants are just regular guards. The deeper they go, the stronger the ants they will encounter. Haein can also smell a strong monster deep inside. Baek also uses his keen sense of smell to track it. Indeed, they have discovered the location of the Ant Queen. It is currently surrounded by many guards protecting it. Outside, the decoy team is probably reaching their limits. Baek thinks the upcoming battle will be very difficult, but he still believes that with these members, victory is within reach. Everyone continues their journey inward. The Sword Guild members have lost contact with Charlie's group. One member found the glasses their teammate had been wearing. Another member smelled something that made him feel like vomiting because it was so disgusting. He then got enraged and unleashed his ice magic power. The other groups still don't know what happened, but either way, they must fight first. Inside the nest, the Ant Queen has been located. A mighty guard army welcomes the entire group. Byung Ji-yu buffs the strength of the group first. Dungwick enhances his body and steps forward. Then, Jong-in begins to unleash the full power of his fire magic. He decides to give it his all, without holding anything back. Baek also transforms into his strongest form to ramp up. Sulong time, my loves. Ahihi, tonight, there is no full moon. Just Baek in his beast transformation state. The viewer count has now surpassed 80%. The communication team wanted to push further, but Byung Ji-yu stopped them. He asked them to stay behind and not act recklessly. From now on, the battle will only get fiercer. The ants continue to retaliate with their attacks. Guild leader Ma Dungwick also begins to fight back. Guild leader Tae Gyu starts firing piercing arrows at the ants. Baek is determined to kill as many as possible. One by one, Jong-in and Haein continue attacking relentlessly. Everyone watches the battle closely on the screen, not taking their eyes off it. After a while, the last of the guard ants is finally taken care of. The real battle against the Ant Queen is just beginning. Dungwick still serves as the shield for the group. Tae Gyu continues to shoot over 16 billion arrows at the Ant Queen. Let me repeat, 16 billion arrows. Everyone, are you just going to let it be? Silently Baek believes that without its guards, the queen will just become prey. Suddenly, the Ant Queen spits out poison from its mouth. Fortunately, Dungwick and Baek are supported from behind by Byung Ji-yu. This time, it's Jong-in's turn to bring the heat. But this fire is like burning with wood, so it's still not very effective against the queen. Baek feels the queen's deathly scream. The queen attempts to escape, but it's not so easy. Baek and Dungwick continue to hold the line. This time, it's Haein's turn to step forward. Byung Ji-yu continues to support Haein with additional strength. Haein strikes first, attacking its legs. The Ant Queen officially collapses. Haein is ready to deliver the final blow. She is exhausted after this attack. The queen's head is officially severed from its body. Everyone watches, filled with joy at this moment. They all believe that this is the end of it. But Baek still senses the queen's final scream. And it sounds strange. Byung Ji-yu is relieved, finally avenging Yunsok. Suddenly, a report comes in. The ants are returning to their nest in unison. The interference waves have lost their effect. Guild leader Gotu didn't anticipate this. Jong-in senses that the barrier at the entrance has been broken. The ants begin to swarm inside. Now, the group realizes that the queen's scream was a call to rally its kin. To their surprise, Zhang Yin's move was easily countered. Indeed, something is coming. And then, the villainous main character finally appears. It's unclear how the 5 heroes will handle this. As soon as it arrives, it unleashes its full Ant King power. Heian smells something unbearable. She realizes it's not just a monster. It's something more. Dungwick is about to step forward to eliminate it. But as it passes by, Dungwick feels an eerie chill. Very real, not fake at all. To everyone's surprise, it moves to the dead Ant Queen's body and begins to devour it. After a while, it finishes its mukbang. It shifts to Heian and strikes her, making her feel as though she's died and come back to life. Dungwick reacts, but the creature easily blocks his strike with just one hand. Then, it continues with the other arm, balancing the blows. Beck moves forward but remains a backdrop for the Ant King. Zhang Yin doesn't even have time to react before he's taken out. Tae Gyu's attack feels like a mere itch. Ineffective. Then, it lightly delivers a punch. Dungwick, who had just been healed, returns to the battle. Byung Ji-yu uses his stealth skill and heals Dungwick. He sees that this skill will help his team avoid defeat. Dungwick is tossed around by the Ant King like Hulk throwing Loki and the Avengers. Byung Ji-yu realizes that while he's hidden, it's as if he's not even there to the Ant King. The Ant King pierces through Byung Ji-yu, right in front of Beck. Then, it even swallows his head whole. Beck continues to advance but remains a mere backdrop for the Ant King. Suddenly, it lets out a sound from Byung Ji-yu. It begins to speak. The Ant King says everyone is too weak. Despite losing the queen and the elite ants, it asks where the king of all is. It senses a strong presence outside. Immediately, it teleports away. Beck wonders if its guild leader Goto. But right now, the priority is to escape this place first. The ants have begun to return. Charlie's group has lost contact. And now Delta's group is also out of touch. Bravo's group can still communicate. Then, guild leader Goto's group arrives at the scene. They see the bodies of their comrades. Goto reports this to a mysterious individual. He also updates the situation on the island. The mysterious figure asks about the survival rate of everyone in the ant nest. Goto confirms that with their fighting strength, the survival rate is 0%. The mysterious figure seems pleased. As things are going according to plan, Japan has committed all its forces, as the agreement on the alliance was fulfilled. Thus, they are reluctantly withdrawing. The will to proceed with the second wave of the attack on Jeju Island remains. The plan to wear down the fighting strength of the neighboring country will continue. They've just become a nation capable of conquering the S-Gate. Indeed, the timing is perfect. He orders the entire Sword Guild to retreat and prepare for the next phase of the plan. The one who gave this order is Chairman Matsumoto from Japan. The Ant King has arrived. Goto reacts in time, but member Ishida does not. He wants the remaining members to regroup with Bravo's team as planned to continue the mission. Ishida accepts the order to leave. The Ant King asks Goto if he is the king. Goto confirms, ready to reveal that he is indeed the king. As soon as he hears this, a wave of power emanates from the Ant King. Before anything can happen, Goto's sword shatters. The hunters inside the ant nest are fighting to retreat. Right now, all of them are suffering from fatal wounds. Beck believes this is the end. Unexpectedly, their saviors arrive. It's none other than Jinwoo's shadow soldiers. Jinwoo also uses a summoning spell. The ants continue to attack. One by one, Jinwoo's shadow generals appear. Beck has no idea where these soldiers came from. Jinwoo himself has arrived. The S-rank hunters don't understand why he's here. The live broadcast signal has been lost. Everyone watching is left in the dark. Not knowing what happened, Jin Chul reports that the situation on the ground is chaotic. Chairman Go hopes they can prioritize the hunters' situation. The television station still can't reach the live crew on the island. The cameras are not working right now. Jinwoo orders Iron to move forward first. Then, a lion's roar is used to redirect the ants' focus. The massacre begins. The ants begin to get overwhelmed by Jinwoo's subordinates. The S-rank hunters have no idea what the heck is going on right now. Jinwoo doesn't want to explain at this moment. For now, he needs to treat everyone's injuries first. Jinwoo suddenly realizes the item is non-transferable. So, he has to personally administer it to each person. Master Ma immediately recovers. The others also recover shortly after. Jinwoo continues to give Heian the potion. However, the vitality potion has no effect because her vitality is too low. He can feel that her energy is almost depleted. Indeed, the potion doesn't work. He wants to clear a path for the group to escape first. The ants are coming in greater numbers. Chairman Go wants to know the situation on the island but still can't get through. Since that black ant appeared, all incoming signals have been interrupted. Chairman Go wants the medical and retrieval teams to be ready to act immediately. He feels more resentment toward his body and heart than ever before. Because he really wants to contribute alongside everyone. Gina is also frustrated by her inability to follow the battle. She decides to return to her room and check her phone to be sure. The life signal from Chairman Goto has disappeared. Sure enough, when Goto claimed he was the king, his head was severed from his body. Chairman Matsumoto didn't expect this. He wants to quickly determine the situation. He didn't expect that Goto had been taken down. Still clueless about what's going on the island. The ants are no match for Jinwoo's shadow generals. Only the infantry are too weak. Jinwoo is ready to clear a path for the group. He wants everyone to follow Nan and break through the encirclement. He also hopes that no one will reveal what they're about to see. Just as the ants were about to rise up, the main villain appeared unexpectedly. The ants had to make way for their king to emerge. It seems Beck has returned. That means Goto must have been defeated. The Ant King continues to radiate a fierce power. It senses that there is no king outside. It keeps asking whether there is a king inside here. Jinwoo realizes that it's the one responsible for cutting off the shadow he planted in Goto. He is also ready to approach it. The Ant King continues to ask if Jinwoo is the king of humans. Jinwoo is rather amused that a bug can talk. It acknowledges Jinwoo's strong and sharp presence. Jinwoo doesn't show any fear at all. The signal from the camera has just been restored. The media immediately wants to broadcast the battle live. He knows the fate of this battle lies entirely with Jinwoo. Everyone is shocked that Jinwoo is on the island. Gina also didn't expect her brother to be there. Who would have thought that he'd be here after saying he was just stepping out? Chairman Go is also very happy that Jinwoo has arrived. He puts all his trust in him. The Ant King punches Jinwoo straight in the face. Everyone thinks he's done for after taking that hit. The Ant King thinks Jinwoo is too weak to be a king. But it was mistaken. Jinwoo is completely unharmed. He immediately counters with a pressure-inducing strike, then follows up with a punch in retaliation for the one earlier. The S-rank hunters begin to wonder if Jinwoo is a magic type. The Ant King's shell is incredibly tough. It doesn't seem affected at all. Jinwoo continues punching, so it punches back in retaliation. A one-on-one boxing match is now taking place between the two. Blow after blow is exchanged. Jinwoo holds the upper hand against the Ant King. It still can't figure out what Jinwoo really is. The punching continues. Jinwoo successfully lands another punch straight to its face. Suddenly, it uses its long tongue to attack Jinwoo's face. The poison starts to spread. The Ant King explains that it's a toxin it absorbed from everything around it. Then it refined it using its magical power. It declares that Jinwoo won't be able to move anymore. It claims Jinwoo's life ends here. Humans really are weak. Matsumoto has clearly assessed the situation on his side. Only 3 out of the 10 Japanese hunters remain. He is quite upset, wondering how things became so disastrous. The thing that killed Goto is still alive and well. It's even heading back to its nest now. Matsumoto thinks that if it returns, it will clash with the Korean hunters. If they can defeat it, there's still a chance for his plan to succeed. He wants the 3 survivors to regroup with the second attack team. They must be ready and waiting for the next phase of the plan. The one who went with Goto knows there's no chance of winning against that monster. That young man has lost the will to fight. Jinwoo catches the Ant King's punch again. He retaliates with another strong blow. Jong-in realizes that Jinwoo isn't affected by the paralyzing poison. Jinwoo knows the Ant King is hiding its trump card. That's why it's been acting so calm. Unfortunately for it, Jinwoo's body is completely immune to poison. He senses that it's becoming quite desperate. He thinks he should end this soon because Heian won't be able to hold on much longer. He charges in again, but this time, the Ant King uses its wings. And so, the Ant King decides to go all out. It transforms its body. A new battle form is born. Jinwoo prepares himself with his 2 daggers. The Ant King strikes first. Both sides clash in close quarters combat. They exchange blows rapidly. Blow for blow. They fight back and forth without pause. Jinwoo is slightly on the back foot. The Ant King even uses ice magic. It attacks him with shards of ice. The clashes continue. The Ant King acknowledges that Jinwoo's speed rivals its own. It doesn't understand how that's possible. Still, both sides continue to go all out. An absolutely intense scene is unfolding. This is the peak battle of Solo and Bolero Season 2. The Shadow Monarch fights the Ant King Beru. Watching them fight, even Oni Review can't keep up. Everyone, this really is an epic battle. Jinwoo delivers a flurry of punches to it. Then he attacks with his daggers. The Ant King goes into an even greater rage. It's about to pierce straight through Jinwoo's face. Jinwoo instantly levels up his skill. His highest level Blade Storm is activated. The Ant King is slashed into many pieces. It realizes that it really might not make it out of this. Its regeneration ability is also top tier, but still, fleeing is the best of the 36 strategies. But Jinwoo's not about to let this guy off easy. He instantly blitzes forward with teleportation speed. He teleports right to the top. Then unleashes a barrage of 1001 slashes on the Ant King. The Ant King takes every single hit and crashes to the ground. Its arms have been completely severed. It still can't comprehend what kind of creature a human is. This time, it's the Shadow Army's turn to move. They all launch a simultaneous attack. In the blink of an eye, the entire Ant Army is wiped out. The Ant King thinks it was meant to be born with strength surpassing everyone else. A being that constantly grows to reach the top. It believes it should have been the true king. It decides it has to run again. Because to live, fleeing is still the best strategy among the 36. Jinwoo says, "Where are you off to? Buddy? Planning to escape with 16 billion or something?" This time it's literally peeing itself. Crawling on the ground to flee. It decides to go far away to survive. Jinwoo activates his max level Blade Storm again. He delivers another 10,001 slashes straight into the Ant King. This time, it officially goes to meet its maker. Game over. Jinwoo's level increases once again. The remaining ants scatter after witnessing their king's death. Hey, In is now on the brink of death. Everyone decides to rush outside where a helicopter is waiting. Jinwoo knows that by then, she won't survive. This time, he pulls out the holy water of life. He lets In try it, because this is their last hope. But the system notifies that the target cannot be healed by potions. At this point, even the exchange spell can't be used. Jinwoo is forced to think of another way immediately. Can't risk losing his future wife just like that. Jinwoo wants the camera feed to be shut off. If not, he'll be the one to destroy it. Fang brings the corpse of Byung-ji-yu. Baek doesn't know what Jinwoo plans to do with Byung-gu's body. There's no time to explain, so Jinwoo asks him to stay quiet. He instantly resurrects Byung-ji-yu. And just like that, Byung-ji-yu becomes a shadow soldier. Meanwhile, the battle outside the island with the ant minions continues. The Vice Guild Master draws his sword and confirms that the one who killed Guild Master Goto has been defeated. Chairman's Plan 9 is now ready. The S-rank hunters just now realize that Jinwoo isn't a summoning type mage. Jinwoo reveals that he heard Byung-gu's voice. Byung-ji-yu asked him to use his power. Byung-gu's shadow immediately goes to heal In, and sure enough, she's saved this time. Jinwoo feels like he understands what kind of person Byung-ji-yu was when he was alive. Even without being ordered, he went straight to heal In. Truly, he was a warm-hearted man. Everyone watching this moment couldn't blink. No one expected Jinwoo's powers to be this terrifying. Baek thinks that if they now have Byung-gu's shadow, Jinwoo's strength will be an invaluable asset. But Baek knows Byung-ji-yu never truly wanted to fight. He doesn't want to see Byung-ji-yu on the battlefield again. Jinwoo brings up the time Baek acted in his place. Just like what happened after the last gate incident. This time it's not a command. It's a sincere request. From the start, Jinwoo had already been thinking this way. And so, he decides to release the shadow extraction. Byung-ji-yu smiles at Baek before departing. Baek is deeply moved by what he sees. He truly thanks his friend from the bottom of his heart. Chairman Matsumoto is quite angry after hearing the current situation. He doesn't understand how Jinwoo suddenly appeared and instantly took down the Ant King. He's shocked that they lost as many as 7s rank hunters. So, he decides to retreat without carrying out Plan 9. He's furious that everything turned out like this. The ants are flying chaotically in the sky. The hunters outside are doing their best to wipe them out. They don't understand why the ants are going berserk even though the Ant Queen was killed. The Korean S-rank hunter group also successfully retreats. They realize the situation isn't looking too good. They think all the ants need to be eliminated before they reach the mainland. Jong-in wants to leave immediately. Since Jinwoo wants to stay behind to clean up the remaining ants. Staying would only get in his way. Jinwoo is now wiping out all the remaining ants and ant eggs. He pulls out a massive sword to handle the swarm. It's the longsword of the Demon King Baron. But he also assigns the task to a few of his shadow soldiers. Jinwoo's level continues to rise steadily. He has now reached level 100. He can feel that even in death, the Ant King still emits a terrifying aura. So, he decides to resurrect it on the spot. Suddenly, Jinwoo is transported to another place. Then quickly returns to the present. The Ant King is officially reborn as one of Jinwoo's shadow soldiers. Surprisingly, it can speak and even address him as, Your Majesty. Jinwoo is shocked that it can actually talk to him. Unlike all his other shadow soldiers, the Ant King asks His Majesty to give him a name. Jinwoo is surprised to see it holds the title of General, even at level 1. Jinwoo didn't expect that even after killing it, it would still submit to him. The Ant King sees it not as having died, but as having been reborn through the power of His Majesty. So it feels immensely joyful. It pledges to serve His Majesty from this day forward. Jinwoo names the Ant King, Baru. Then he proceeds to resurrect the red ants. Outside, the ants have reached the final defensive line. The hunters continue fighting hard to eliminate them. Baru reports that currently around 4,000 ants are rampaging without their leader. Jinwoo commands Baru to reduce their numbers immediately. Baru is more than willing to do so, and instantly gets to work. The Ant King uses its speed to start clearing the ants. Up above, the plane carrying Korea's S-rank hunters is in serious trouble. Their shield barrier has already shattered. But once again, luck is on their side. Blessings raining down, they're too lucky to complain. Because Jinwoo arrives just in time to help. Everyone realizes it's Jinwoo who once again saves them at the most critical moment. After the storm, comes the clear sky. Most of the ants have been successfully held back by the hunters. Thanks to that, the damage to the mainland is minimized. Heian is taken straight to the hospital. Although the battle came at a high cost. In return, the Jeju Island raid ends in the best possible success. Victory belongs to humanity. The remaining ants are still desperately flying towards somewhere. One hunter gets ready to loosen up. With a dual sword strike, all remaining ants are wiped out. He's slightly disappointed that he didn't get to face off against the Ant King. After the Jeju Island raid, a memorial monument was erected to honor the fallen hunters. Jinwoo also came to pay his respects to those who had sacrificed their lives. Everyone acknowledged that without him, the raid couldn't have succeeded. But he also faced criticism that if he had participated from the start, fewer lives might have been lost. Beck encouraged him to hold his head high. Because that's just how people are. Just stay true to yourself. A straight tree fears no crooked shadow. Chairman Go had been waiting for him. He thanked Jinwoo on behalf of the Hunters Association for his contribution. The chairman promised that one day, he would repay Jinwoo in the way he desired. He also asked about Jinwoo's plans going forward. Knowing that now the world was aware of Jinwoo's power, things wouldn't be so peaceful. So Chairman Go wanted to reconfirm Jinwoo's intentions. Unexpectedly, Jinwoo revealed he planned to establish his own guild. The Knights Guild had been assigned to check and clean up the remaining forces on Jeju Island. Suddenly, a mysterious figure appeared. The entire Knights Guild squad was immediately put to sleep. It turned out another mysterious person was behind it. The two of them identified Jinwoo as their target. A portal was summoned right away. They wanted to meet him immediately. Someone else was also on their way. The older man left first. Then the creepy one followed right after. Jinwoo's father had been there the whole time, silently observing. Jinwoo, meanwhile, was stuck in traffic. His subordinate, Jinho, called to ask about the guild formation. Jinwoo said Chairman Go had given his approval. Hearing that, Sung Jin immediately requested to join. Just as the call ended, things were too noisy on both ends. Chairman Go unexpectedly called Jinwoo again. Chairman Go informed him that the traffic jam was caused by a B rank gate that appeared on the road. Jinwoo also made his way to the gate. The hunters dispatched there hadn't seen anyone emerge yet, so he decided he'd clear up this traffic mess himself. But just as he stepped inside, boom, the gate transformed again. Jinwoo didn't expect another disaster right on top of everything else. He hadn't even had the chance to tell his mom he'd be home late. But he figured it wouldn't take that long anyway. He summoned the Shadow Army once again. Let's clean this up quickly. After the recent Jeju raid, Heian realized how inexperienced she still was. Deep in her heart, she only wanted to catch up to Jinwoo, to stand by his side. And to do that, she knew she had to grow stronger. Meanwhile, the battle within the gate continued. The world kept turning. That's life. Everyone has their dreams, their goals, and their ambitions. And hunters just keep on hunting. Jinwoo's next prey was ready to be hunted. That's it for today's video. Folks, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, so you don't miss the upcoming episodes. Much love to you all.